So, MightyMai episode 22. Let's go. TokenSmart, are you ready tonight? We're here with Mighty. I'm not a rapper, as you can hear.
Early morning depressed, room is a mess, down on myself, painting on my last album cover up on my shelf. Stare at myself in the mirror, attempting to hold a tear and thinking maybe I'm just no different than anyone else. Or is it just my location? My heart is in Pennsylvania, the love of my life, my family, all the friends that I hang with. But if I can get away and spend a year in LA, then maybe I can find a way to really be an entertainer. Should I switch up my angle and start working with teams, write lyrics for other artists and settle behind the scenes? My main goals have never revolved around cream, but if it's a mean to an end, should I make it by any means? Maybe I should open a studio to record, start focusing on other artists and stay behind the boards. It'll never make a McLaren of my 17 Accord, but I could engineer for people who actually go on tour. Or should I just dedicate myself to the Lord, focus all my energy on being healthy and pure? Organic diet for sure, I can pray and go to the mosque. Maybe then I wouldn't feel so lost. Should I give up on being my own boss and go apply someplace that offers medical and dental and a salary pay? Security to start a family and make sure that they're straight, keep clothes on their backs and food on their plates? Or should I move out the States, connect with my heritage in the Middle East, travel to Greece and start a farm with cattle and sheep? Go to Italy and get married, my lady can meet her family, FaceTime and loved ones back home every week. I heard it's for the weak, so maybe I shouldn't sleep. Stay up and work until my dream becomes a reality, and keep climbing the mountain until I get to the peak and drop an album with Drizzy and Meek. Or is it really this deep? Should I just go with the way the universe flow, be content with the I don't know and continue to love and grow? I say namaste as I contemplate my every move. The only thing I really know is I don't know what to do. I'm confused, how do I know what to choose? I wake up with the blues, by afternoon I'm enthused. Refuse to fall for the rules in the palms of Satan. It's true that we're God's creation, inshallah we find a way. But for now, contemplation.
So, what's up? Hello, TokenSmart. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the MightyMai show, episode 22. Hello, Mai. And for a little reminder, we're here to talk about music and blockchain and everything revolving around that. And I'm very happy to open up this episode with this gem from DJ Lethal Skills and A.Rob, Contemplation. And they used Emanate to distribute their release onto Spotify and all the platforms, so big shout out to them. I love this tune. I listened to it this week a lot. And so, yeah, here we go. Episode 22. What's up?
Hey, what's up? Glad to be here as always. 22 episodes, can't believe it. I saw heard in that song he shouted out PA, which is where I am. So
Yeah.
I wonder where in PA he was referring to, but that's cool.
Yeah, I love this kind of vibe, chill vibes, sunny and summer vibes. You can hear it in the sound. I like it in kind of melancholic as well, contemplation.
Yeah.
So it gives good
Right.
vibes.
Well, that's cool. Dude, it's so funny you brought up Emanate. I was actually thinking like what has Emanate been up to? I mean, I know that like last time I talked with the people at Emanate, they were talking about doing NFT things and stuff with like Rarez, which I don't know what the development on that ever ended up being, but do you have any insights on as to what they're getting into?
Not recently, no, I haven't checked about their recent. I haven't seen a big announcement neither, but I see they've been tweeting recently. But I don't know personally more about the recent evolution of Emanate. I mean, I haven't heard of something in particular or recent about it. And as I'm looking at it right now, I don't see major improvement. Um, but they are communicating a lot around the platform and trying to bring artists and wider the audience of the platform. I see them doing that a lot, and that's a good thing, a good point. But yeah, it seems like they are working on something around NFTs, definitely. But how it will take place and so on, I don't see any details on that yet.
Yeah, because I mean, I saw so much potential from Emanate in terms of I saw Emanate and basically Audius at the top in terms of blockchain streaming platforms, or at least the most accessible for the average person to utilize and
Mm-hmm.
benefit from. So I'm looking forward to them, kind of surprising us, maybe coming out with something that really does something different. I mean, I don't know. It does seem like they've maybe hit like a bit of a plateau, or maybe they're just building, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I
So the
think.
best.
Yeah, I think they are building and they are the legit successor of Musicoin because they are like the closest to this ideology of pay per play. Sorry, so that they did it even further as Musicoin was one play equal one coin. For Emanate, it's like if you play 5 seconds of the song, you will get paid only for 5 seconds. So it's there's a new layer of microtransactions happening on Emanate that Musicoin did, but they are the closest to this philosophy where for example, Audius is not looking at this model really, so they are more looking for monetizing the interaction between the users onto the platform, but not really monetizing the music and the time consumed in itself by the coins. So I very love this project as it's a model in which I believe a lot, but there's no other platform really that he's as far as Emanate has reached over the recent years, and so I'm very excited about the future here. But I know there's a lot
Yeah,
of work as well.
yeah, absolutely. And I only inquire about it just because I really fuck with the M&A team. Like they definitely know what they're doing as well. It just seems like they had a way smaller budget, or a way less. They had way less VC, basically like angel
Mm-hmm.
investors and stuff to basically help them get their platform up and running in a bigger way. Whereas I feel like Audius probably being that I think it's based in like Silicon Valley area, they probably had
Mm-hmm.
a little more of an advantage to actually get the money and the capital to kind of do a lot of things earlier. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see how that develops.
Yeah, absolutely. And to me, it was the crucial key as in the release of my album. It was really the missing piece of the puzzle that allowed me to connect a 100% blockchain release album to the traditional systems, and they are really the only one to do this kind of service, and collecting the royalties from Spotify into smart contracts. That's really into my demonstration was like a crucial piece because for when I advocate for this experimentation, uh, it, I can tell to every artist that I had literally the same status as they have, using traditional tools, and so there's nothing for me that is uh, painful in this process. Oh, I think we hear Lindsay.
You skateboarding right now?
I'm skateboarding. No, I think we hear Lindsay. Sorry, Lindsay, I had to mute you, but I think we hear your mic. We can hear you now.
Oh, you heard you heard Lindsay. I love it. That's funny as hell. She
So
was she was probably skateboarding. She was probably boarding.
it sounds like it, yeah. But yeah. So how's been your week? Like, have you noticed things around the music scene that you wanted in particular to talk about? I had a few time to open a few tabs. I just haven't had the time, to really get into it. But I think we can, pick and choose and see, because I've seen some significant headlines that were really interesting to get into, but we may discover them together, And so, yeah. But
Absolutely.
before that, yeah, did you had some thoughts, or how has been your week into this?
Well, no, that's it. I mean, yeah, it's funny. I like, on one hand, I wanted to just basically answer the question like, oh, how was my week? I was gonna say, as you know, we've been gearing up for a lot of things,
Hmm.
basically putting the pressure cooker on a lot of projects and a lot of things soon to come out very, very soon, very soon,
Hmm.
very slowly, but things will be rolling out here any moment. But other than that, I mean, that's typically where my mind is most of the time, is really just kind of focusing on getting things done. But uh, but yeah, no, honestly, like I have no idea what happened this past week in terms of the news, in music. Um, I mean, a bunch of developments just in terms of just like overall crypto news, but not necessarily music based in my head, but it's all related in some respect.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think you were right when you said we're going to probably educate each other and kind of just go through the news almost in real time and kind of let it like hit us in live stride, and we'll just see what we think about it
Yeah.
live on air.
Absolutely. Yeah, because as I was slightly researching before getting into the show, I saw that there were quite a few headlines, and sometimes some that sounded quite big in terms of, like you said, angel capital, angel investors, or things like that, or new platforms as well. I've seen 2 or 3 new platforms, or big news around platforms that we quite don't talk a lot yet about, especially for music. So yeah, quite interesting. Personally, I feel like this. I know it's not summer everywhere, but here in Europe we start to have the good days, good summer days, and so the dust kind of set back to the floor with all the situation around the global situation. So people are like kind of enjoying outside, and we can feel it as well, as NFTs are dead, that the network has been cleared a little bit, and that the gas fees has been hasn't been that low since a long time, and so we feel like the place has been cleared up. And during that time, I see the pioneers grinding, some talks here and there. I finally could get into Clubhouse, and so I started following a few of the people I know in the community to get noticed around the talks about audio NFTs and music and blockchain in general. So uh, I'm looking forward to get into those. Uh,
No, that's cool that you got onto Clubhouse finally. And I agree, and I think it's kind of a good thing. Like I like the NFT talk is dead conversation.
mhm.
It's just it's kind of like what we talked about maybe 2 weeks ago, where I'm like, man, like we were having a conversation, and I just kept saying, I was like, wow, this really makes me realize how early we are, and that's when the joke came into play. The oh, it's so early that blah blah blah
Yeah,
blah, which which we still want to keep that going. I know it died out in like 2 days, but hey, like if you got your early jokes, please get in there. But but easy. I actually feel this. I've been MIA from Clubhouse, but in in like that's what I mean. Like 2 3, maybe 4 months ago, I think it was like really popping, and it was just all about NFTs. It was all about cryptos. All that seemed like what Clubhouse was at the time. And I remember during that time, I was like, man, this adoption is happening so fast. Everything's happening so fast. And I know we talked about it on the show. Um, and then out of nowhere, like it's like it got into the public eye and just was completely misunderstood or
hmm,
just judged in a very quick way.
and
It's kind of
distorted.
like it's like the new artist that comes out and he has a completely new sound, and like some artists and producers get it and they're like, yo, he's actually next. But like most people, like the natural consumer is just going to kind of like always clown him. But but they're always going to remember him. And that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
how I feel about NFTs in the world right now, is like they had their moment where like they got into that spotlight, but it seems like the majority of people who consumed NFTs and crypto as a whole, or however we want to consider like the new creator economy, I feel like they kind of just got this vibe where like the majority of people like almost clowned it because it was so different for them that they couldn't really find out how to relate to it. And I think it's a great thing. It's good for us because it gives us more time. It just gives us more time to really, really fine tune um, our understanding of the space. And so, basically um, most of those people that just wanted to rush in and just drop NFTs and just do things, they weren't going to last because they were trying to ride a trend wave rather than actually understand how they could actually utilize the technology for a long-term plan. And so I like it. It's a breath of relief for me, in terms of just feeling like 4 months ago I was like, damn, we're almost like we gotta like do something quick. We gotta do something quick. But then, of course, I didn't either way. I just kept taking deep breaths and just
Mm-hmm.
plotting. But it's nice to see that here we are. And it seems like the sentiment right now is kind of like a little more. The layer is a little more relaxed now, and you are right in the sense that it's allowing for the pioneers, the OGs, the people who are serious about the space to actually be the light that once again will re-show the space in probably a month or two, which is kind of what I think will happen again. Is maybe in a month or two there will be more, there will be another wave, and it'll basically be brought on by, I think, new creativity, and new projects that are going to do stuff that are just next level in the sense that what we haven't seen yet, and it's just something that's going to really excite people and be like, oh, I want to get in on this. And they probably won't sell for multi-million dollars too, which I think really did scare away a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
or give
Yeah.
people the wrong idea. But yeah, I like it. It's good stuff.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I had a few thought trying to step back a little bit to kind of, for my situation, find solutions to implement Web3 into our core process as producers and incubator. And I can, feel already that something is popping in my mind, but it's still uh, too early, even for me, being into it, or us in general, as I see others having the same problem. We, NFT finally is so young. It's been 1 year ago only, and the possibilities since then has been like way too crazy and kind of showing the potential of infinity, when building with NFTs and art in general. But so I think everyone is trying to have take a step back from what we just witnessed this past year and the craziness of it, and try to see the big picture where how to scale this up, not just only to be one musician that do an NFT because he's got no copyright issues, but actually scaling it up to a band, a label, and so on, and looking in this direction. Um, it's too early to be able to still like today decide on a solution that will last for your process for the next 10 years. I'm waiting for that moment where I would have my standard, my basic standard where I know I can plug my music into the Web3 with at least, the metadata that will allow different platforms to track my music and so on. And as of yet, it's not. I cannot feel that I can decide, on a solution for scaling it up on our activities in general as an incubator or label, if you want. And but the thing I noticed is that one ID, which is very personal, but something started to emerge in my mind of the positioning of the different tools we know of today, and how it can maybe work for music in the future. And so I kind of pictured it like it. So it's like the NFT would be, like an artifact that you put into like a magic place. By magic place, I mean, a gate, a sort of infrastructure ecosystem where you just place the gem, which is the NFT, and then it kind of connect with the whole ecosystem. But the NFT would be the base layer of every music activity, meaning that it protects the music as an NFT and the smart contract. So you have the right organization thing going on just within the NFT as we know it. You have all the rules that allows the different platforms to build and use this particular NFT, whether it's streaming or publishing, synchronization, whatever. But the NFT would be like the artifact that just plugs into, a grid of things that can just feed off of this NFT, and the NFT would be the key to allow a different set of application and streaming included, which is interesting, looking at Emanate or Musiccoin, where you would put the music into a new smart contract, which would, make your song exist twice, one on the streaming smart contract for the streaming purposes, and another one for the NFT. So there will be two smart contracts with the same song for having two different purposes. And I think it can maybe brought back to one. That's just a speculation of mine of how I can see things. And maybe that's not doable, but I would find it logic to have just one NFT that you can stake for streaming, stake for remixing, or whatever rules you put into it, and whatever application is built on top of it once you have the standard. And but yeah, that's how I kind of pictured it this week. But I don't truly see yet this idea being materialized. But I can see hints and clues here and there that can put this vision to work somehow, maybe in the future.
Yeah, wow. I mean, while I was listening to that, I was like getting all kinds of ideas. I mean, that'd be so ideal. I mean, that would simplify. What's great about that idea as well is it simplifies the process for the creator
Mm-hmm.
and the consumer. So that idea, I feel like, solves pretty much every part of the equation all at once. So whoever is listening who is a developer, that is most likely one of the better thoughts to incorporate into whatever is being developed at the moment. I mean, that would be incredible. That yeah, I mean, and imagine if it worked in every type of Web3 space, whether it was in a metaverse, maybe it worked in multiple metaverses, and you could incorporate this same type of unlockability in different parcels or different pieces of land, as well as just simply on a website of your own. And it's just like a piece of tech that you just simply use like a plugin on your browser or something along those lines. Even like it's like a Mintgate type of idea, but way less vague in terms of Mintgate obviously allows you to kind of be the determiner of like what does this gate and what is it that gates it, whereas having like a master key or something like that that kind of can lead to multiple things. That would be definitely ideal for both the creator and the consumer. I like that a lot. But you're definitely right. I mean, that's a lot of behind the scenes development that probably needs to be done. That's probably just simply not here yet. But I also agree though. It's got to be in the works. Got to be.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, let's wish it and it will materialize. But yeah, to me it makes sense that, or I mean, it makes no sense. For example, when I look at OPULOUS, that allows the NFTs to be displayed. You connect your wallet and you can display your NFTs onto OPULOUS. But on the side of that, you have your song uploaded to OPULOUS on their blockchain and everything, and so it duplicates the the original file simply for different purposes on the blockchain. And I believe like the more it gets mainstream, the simpler it would have to become, and just one NFT would, really certificate the authenticity of it, and then allow it for multiple application, decentralized application to, whether it's about gating something or allowing it to be streamed or to be published or whatever. And yeah, don't have multiples of your same asset on different blockchain. That's kind of the point of it in the end. The more there will be people on the network that are and platforms, and when you have 100 platforms on the blockchain, you don't want to duplicate 100 smart contracts with your same music. It's counterproductive, as I would say. So it would make sense in the end to what's the name, concatenate this into just one file that serves into the Web3 ecosystem.
Right. And I wonder what will cause it to go that direction, because while I was thinking about it there, I mean, I don't know if there's really any incentive for a company to do that, because it's kind of almost a selfless type of thing to create, because then it's kind of you're almost taking away from the individuality that you can have with certain things. But I mean, I guess it doesn't take away from it, but it almost makes me feel like, because that's going to be so much simpler, people will just end up doing it that way. Especially the average creator, rather than, somebody who maybe has a very specific plan. But then again, you could probably still incorporate that into it as well. I mean, I don't know. I love the idea of basically using NFTs as keys for other NFTs, as keys for other NFTs, I know that actually exists too, though. I mean, that's not super crazy. I think Charged Particles does something along those
Yeah,
lines, but
yeah, you can combine charge
yeah,
particles, Mingate, and all these tools to create something like more interactive for sure.
yeah, wow, definitely something to think about.
Yeah,
Um,
that was my thought of the week. But yeah, we can move on into the news. We don't have to stay too long on every news, but some of them might talk to us more than others. So we shall get into it.
Hell yeah, I'm with it.
So it will be pretty random. So let's start. I have
Love it.
Purple Throne wants to solve the streaming royalty mess with cryptocurrency, and this was the 6th of June 2021. So Purple Throne is a new company, and as I'm reading, I mean, it seems like they just attested their. They went public, like that's how I would call it, because I haven't heard of this name ever, and it seems like it sounds like a mediatic showcase. Like, hello, we are here, we are Purple Throne, and but yeah, it's cool to see just someone getting into the streaming royalty mess. I like that expression.
Yeah, the question or like, I guess the proposition, which really I think leads to the question, which is, does cryptocurrency itself solve streaming royalties? And I mean, the answer to me would actually be no. And I mean, now bear with me. It's not like I'm saying that cryptocurrency can't change it. I'm just saying that the thing that's actually changing streaming is just giving the power and the value back to the actual creator, rather than these middleman companies that have basically just ate up all of this space that we were like, oh, there's no money here anymore, or whatever. And then they realize, like, oh, wait, we own it all, and we can just take 90% of the profit and just give everybody pennies. And they'll be like, oh, well, I wasn't making anything before, so I'll take 0.001 cent for a play, sure. And it's like, oh, I can get my music out to everybody for free, like, sure, like, or $10 a year or whatever it is on some of these platforms to distribute your music. So I think, like, it's not like cryptocurrency itself is what is like changing it. I mean, I mean, it is, but I think, like, what I'm saying is like, I think it's like almost it's a weird way to put it. It's a weird way to put it just because the average person isn't going to ever look at that and be like, yes, you're right.
Mhm.
It's the only person who's going to look at that and say that you're right is somebody who already understands the technology aspect of what blockchain really is doing. And it's just simply allowing us to have like what is it? It's almost like C to C, creator to consumer, like C to C, like literally like
Mhm.
I can I can put a song up and I can get streaming royalties directly from the consumer if there was a technology in place that did that. And it just seems that the only type of technologies that exist that will allow that type of thing to happen are these decentralized ones, are these ones that are basically created on decentralized protocol, which is obviously crypto based. So
Mhm.
um, it's not like Spotify won't won't find a way to take cryptocurrency and take the technology of blockchain and still exploit the fuck out of artists. I mean,
Mhm.
maybe
Yeah.
that's a bit pessimistic, but that's basically how I see it. Like, of course, cryptocurrency can solve all of these issues. Of course, blockchain is going to be a major help, and it already has helped to free us in a way. But Spotify and Apple Music will find a way to just basically take the technology and still find a way to take an ungodly amount of overwhelming percentage that they don't deserve, just because they can and they have the leverage to do so, and most like the audience that will follow them if
Mhm.
they do it correctly. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
like I said, I'm not trying to be too pessimistic here, but
Mhm.
just kind of the way I see that headline resonated with myself.
Yeah, but that's still on the table. I mean, we've seen Spotify looking for expert in the blockchain payments and everything back in December, and I think it's probable that they implement blockchain in two different ways. The first one being allowing the consumer to pay their subscription with Bitcoin, basically, and the other one is to have better tools for themselves to track. The music, but still keep the tool for them to make a profit out of being early, because they can jump in right now and take advantage of the technology. But from other people doing research in that field, they kind of confirmed me this recently. But I mean, we will look at it. There's a short clip of 1 minute and 20 seconds about Purple Throne, talking about Purple Throne. I would be curious to just watch it and
Yeah,
move on.
Well, it fell
cool.
while I cried, 'cause I heard it screaming out your name, your name. I set fire to the rain, and I threw us into the flames. Well, it fell, something died, and I knew that was the last time, the last time. Sometimes I wake up by the door.
It's coming.
I'm Denise Bestman. I'm from Staten Island, New York. I've been knowing Aziz for about 9 to 10 years, and I've also been associated with Purple Thrones for about 2 years and counting. It was an idea that Aziz brought to me, and then, one thing led to another, and, he went for it, and now it's growing, and it's gonna keep on growing. So, yeah. Honestly, it's a great investment for independent musicians like myself. 100% royalties. It's a growing stock. It's a growing business. So for anybody out there that is looking to gain everything for their talent, I think that they should turn to Purple Thrones, and it's purple.
And purple.
I love the argument, but I believe it's a new platform that will
Yeah.
let you own 100% of your royalties, and which would be a streaming-based platform, obviously on the blockchain with the
But see,
purple
like,
coin.
if this, not to like once again say something that's almost redundant here, but like the fact that like we're selling ourselves on the idea like, oh, you get 100% of your value,
Hmm.
I fucking better. Like that's kind of how I feel, and I've always kind of felt. And maybe that's wrong, maybe that's entitled. I don't know, but I feel like all artists shouldn't think like, wow, I'm getting 100% of my value. that's great. But I don't know. She
Yeah,
didn't really
no.
convince me of anything there. I don't really know exactly what. I mean, she's got a nice voice, I guess. Great
Hmm.
control. Um, I don't really. I didn't really catch a vibe on what it was, but um,
Yeah, but
yeah.
I mean,
Oh, sorry,
I
sorry.
love the vibe.
I would.
Like she's cute
Oh,
and all into
yeah.
it.
Yeah, she is. What I was gonna say though, just to close out on that, the idea of like cryptocurrency changing royalty or whatever. Um, I guess the better way to put it is it's like it's not the technology, it's just who is creating the platform and what are their real intentions. And we already know Spotify's intentions. We already know Apple Music's intentions. So I don't care what they do with blockchain. I don't care what they do with crypto. I don't care what Instagram does with crypto. I don't care what Facebook does with crypto. I don't care what any of these companies do with crypto and blockchain technology. They are not going to utilize the technology for the positive purpose in which it was ultimately created. And maybe that's a little extreme, just like saying it like that, but I think that's something that like we should keep in mind. It's like, look, it's not going. They're never going to just decide like, oh yeah, like after all this time of us fucking over everybody and how we've made such exorbitant amounts of money and extracted value from creators or extracted data from users, all of a sudden now they're going to use blockchain and crypto and they're going to all of a sudden give us our value back.
Hmm.
um, the only way that we're going to gain value back is if it was inevitable in the first place, and it's going to still be just pennies compared to the amount that we could have done is if somebody were to kind of come out and create that um, from scratch with the right intention. But the problem is just simply like, how do you beat someone who has that kind of money? How do you beat that kind of massive platform? But I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, um, moving on, there's a quick news. It's just about showing that people are kind of going in the direction already creating like NFT kind of collectives or hubs. Here it's an example from this week, which is called Triptcip. I wouldn't don't know how to pronounce it, but it's from London, and it's basically, and I quote, like an NFT hub that allows and help electronic music artists to create stunning visuals for their music and generate independent income streams through auctions. But it's basically a tool that would connect, um, the musician artist with visual artist or create visual art in a computer generated way to facilitate the struggle from music artists to not be visual artists and have a good looking NFTs for that trend. It's just interesting to see that pop.
Yeah, this is cool. I mean, I know that we've kind of like talked about the idea of creating like almost like Web3 collectives, so to speak. But
Hmm.
I mean, it just makes sense, you know. I mean, like power in numbers, really. I mean, that's what that's what like TokenSmart represents. That's what pretty much all of these Web3 communities represent is just simply power in numbers and just kind of sticking together. So
Hmm.
that's cool. That's a cool little situation. I'd be curious to see like how the allocation of like value goes and like how the running of that goes and how like that collective operates as a collective versus but yeah, am I
Hmm.
still here?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're here.
Nice, I'm alive, thank God.
And so it's designed to give artists more agency while helping them promote themselves. So yeah, it kind of looked like a collective that connects people, art, different kind of artists to make it happen, basically. So yeah, it's interesting to see this kind of hub. And I believe, yeah, like you said, it's just natural. It will come more and more, and it will probably be the biggest part of bringing the first wave of awareness, more seriously that NFTs are dead and just we stay here. So yeah, there will be much more organized group of people that will promote and help people learn about it and everything. So yeah, but
I mean,
again,
for
yeah.
just like harp on the NFTs are dead thing though. It's like laughable to people who know who actually understand it. It's actually just like I think it's just kind of funny. Like, it's a good thing. It's almost a good thing. Like I said, it's like the people who are saying that and the people who are echoing that, we don't want them here anyways. So, or they don't we don't want them to understand it. Like, you get that's at least my thought on it. That's my thought on it. At least for now, like, we'll come back when you fully get it.
Mhm.
You'll come back when you get it. Yeah. And in the meantime, more for us. More thought for us.
Exactly. Like said Marty McFly, I have bought more NFT since they died, and that's pretty much the same for a lot of people I know. So yeah, for sure.
Love it.
But yeah, we see the South Korean market getting into, starting their own NFT marketplace. Interesting one because it's based on Polkadot, and I haven't seen yet an NFT platform based on that particular blockchain, which seems to be
Oh,
very
that's cool.
promising. But yeah, it will start. It is based in Seoul, in South Korea, and it will bring, their first project will most obviously be K-pop artists in general, and they have this XPOP token. So look for XPOP tokens. If the K-pop market succeeds with this project, it can rise. I believe, not financial advice, but I know the K-pop market, and I know
No doubt.
I know how rigged
Would
it
you
is as well, and so yeah, they will
Right.
drive people crazy.
I was just about to say, as much as I completely agree with you. The K-pop market's huge.
Yeah,
But I was just about to say
and
it being,
rigged.
yeah, I was gonna say it being kind of, not like it basically. I'm just saying, like, it being in South Korea and just, like, not really being something that is probably decentralized or probably as open as, like,
Yeah, this is
say, an NFT
funny.
marketplace here.
This is paradoxal in that sense, yeah, because the K-pop market is far from, being like a free market, especially for artists. I mean, it's a very specific game being played there, almost at the military level. So it's like the music industry, but run by military, kind of. And I mean, that's what it looks like, and how it sounds like as well in many regard. But so it's interesting to see. Obviously, South Korea is at the forefront of development, technological development on many things, and so yeah, for sure, it makes sense that they get into NFT. But it will be very interesting to see the K-pop movement, how it will, work with NFTs or not. But I believe the collectible aspect can hit the K-pop fans really hard, and as well as
Sure.
having more way to interact with their artists, which there are K-pop armies of people which are streaming their music all day long just to support their artists, and there's not much market in the world where you see that kind of support. But they became bots, to the point where there are now like bots playing the game for their artists and this industry, and they don't feel good about it. They tell it, but they cannot help themselves because they love too much this wave and their artist and everything. So they have to support it, and the only way they can is streaming it like 1,000 times a day, and yeah, it will be interesting to see that gate open. But will that gate will be totally decentralized or free from a certain kind of influence? Will be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, off first rev, it's a surefire no from me. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? And I mean, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing either, though. Just because something's not decentralized or doesn't mean that these things can't be successful. But the only problem that I would have as an investor in something like that, or just somebody who wants to support that, is who knows who's really getting those funds, and then also who knows, when the people who are controlling that whole show decide to shift gears and take it somewhere else, and it's no longer in the control of those creators, which is, once again, I think that's something that's interesting about what I think is, not to theorize about the future more, but like, it is interesting because what NFTs represent right now for creators is it's a way for them to be literally C to C. And when I say C to C, I mean creator to consumer directly and be like, hey, this is what I created. And then the consumer can say, okay, this is what I think it's worth. And, of course, there's, maybe a debate there or whatever, but, or, some negotiations, some auctions, whatever. But when it comes to something like that, it was basically just going back to the old market. It's just like a new form of merchandise. And it's just a way to basically charge more money for a product if it's owned in a centralized way, and you can just disguise it as being like direct to the creator or blah or whatever it is, when in reality it might not be like that. And so it could be a misuse. I don't want to say misuse because there's no way to misuse this technology, but it's just like it's not on the same thesis in which it was built upon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think those are key to keep in mind as we see this space progress, because I think we're going to see more of that. And it's just key for us to kind of stay aware as to what is actually going to be for the correct reason, so to speak, and what is just basically for the same capitalistic agenda in the first place. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. I mean, you sell anything for money, it's fucking capitalism. But I mean, you know, some things are more red flags than others, I guess,
Yeah,
and that might be one.
yeah, probably would be onto at least one area to get a closer look and a particular attention to because it would you know send a message about because everyone, if they meet success, they will inspire the world. So we'll have to be watchful of their influence within the world and their particular way of doing things. So yeah, I think that's very interesting. But yeah, moving on, I saw some interesting keynotes this week as well. Like on June 10th, it was organized by the Hyperledger open source community, and they hold an interesting talk with Imogen Heap, which is still very active in the research of the music and blockchain space, and they are talking about the potential of a new NFT platform, which is called Palm NFT, and I've seen it recently. But yeah, so interesting panel to get into. I can share the link for people who want to get in that. But yeah, the vision behind Palm is NFTs are the record collection of the future. And that's what's interesting in their vision. So let me read.
Sounds like catalog.
Yeah, let me read like a bit. Sorry, not to get into the context. So, in late March, Consensus unveiled the soon-to-launch Palm. Yeah, it's backed by Consensus, which is the same company that incubates MetaMask. Both an NFT blockchain protocol and the Palm NFT studio. So backed by Consensus, Henny Group, and Heyday Films, Palm revealed the first artist to use the offering as Damien Hirst, the currency project. Meanwhile, Palm's CEO views non-fungible tokens as playing a similar role to a record collection in days gone by. So
is it like a catalog or
no?
No.
You mean like catalog?
Yeah.
I mean, I see Palm, the Palm NFT marketplace as a layer 2 solution. So there's this difference. And what else?
Wait, what? Sorry.
No, I was reading at the same time, but
I was reading the chat for a second there. It was kind of funny. Classic. I always actually think this. I'm sorry to like draw attention to this conversation in the chat right now, but I think it's kind of funny because I always see this. People who just always type active, or they'll just be like, they'll constantly say like the same like 5 phrases over and over again. I'm like, yo, are people talking? Like, are people like actually like having conversation with each other, or is it just basically banter back and forth? Or is it just, or are they just, yeah, are they just trying to look like they are
Ac-
active, like they say.
Active, yeah.
But I digress.
But yeah, what else? I've seen that news claiming to be the first NFT music license ever under the new Swiss blockchain law. So that's interesting. They collaborated with an artist to create a music NFT, which is under the Swiss blockchain law. So whatever that means, I don't know yet, but it sounds interesting. And they just released this new single, Full of You, and there will be an auction and everything. But yeah, the NFT comes complete with a full commercial license. This means that whoever buys the token have full commercial rights over the song and can legally sell the NFT to anyone at any time and anywhere. The token holder has full legal rights to profit from the songs due to the commercial license that comes with it. This includes Spotify and other channels as well. Buyers
No doubt.
envisaged by, who is that?
I
Buyers,
actually,
yeah, go ahead.
I love this idea. I actually saw that Louis did this actually with his NFT. I think it's a great idea to sell your commercial rights in the NFT. I find that like super next wave-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like super I mean, that's like thinking ahead. And I think right now it's ironic because I actually believe that if you do that right now, in 10 years, you're going to probably look back and be like, damn, that was undervalued. Or maybe not. I don't know. I mean, like, look, we don't 100% know how everything's going to work out in the next 10 years. But dude, if I was to sell my commercial rights to somebody, it would not be cheap. That's how I feel because it's forever, you know? It's like I'm not selling you my commercial rights for anything less than, I don't know. I'm not gonna say a number. I'm just like saying like it just doesn't make sense to do that as a creator because you want to kind of retain the ability to do that. And I mean, unless you like make it so that you both can, which at that point, that's interesting. I don't know. But I like that idea though. I think that's a next level thought, and I think that type of distribution of ownership is really what's going to push audio NFTs forward in a different way, and it could even create a whole new market. I mean, think about if you're an artist and you're like, man, I really want to get my song on a television show, or I really want to put my song on this video game, or I want to get my song on the radio, or whatever, and somebody else who's totally not doesn't know you at all, but there's a marketplace where you can sell your commercial rights. It can be like a way to mediate this process in a way that helps everybody.
Mm-hmm.
There's a person who just kind of wants to be a whale and buy up commercial rights and then resell them to film people or other artists or other commercials, whatever it is. And I could see a whole market being created with that right there. And I'm sure that already exists in the Web 2 world, but it's just probably way different.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's interesting to see that happening.
So yeah, I was reading about this Swiss blockchain law, and so the idea is that the Swiss country, Switzerland, has he's or will be amongst the first country in the world to introduce a new modern legislation applying to blockchain and distributed ledger technology in 2021. So it came into place early this year, and now they have the blockchain in written in the law somehow, so that companies can. It's like they already have a foundation for regulation, so that the company knows where they are going if they are based in Swiss. So that's interesting. Yeah. So it would be like the first music NFT to be regulated somehow by a country. So that is how the news sound to me.
Um, yeah, And I'm reading this chat here. This question from Marty McFly, which is a good question, and I'm curious your thoughts because I'm not 100% sure on this actually, but I have an opinion. I just don't know if it's a fact. I mean, this is a pretty like objective question. But he says, you say you sell your commercial rights for 1 ETH, and then it's in a Super Bowl commercial, and Pepsi gets millions. Would you still get royalties for that, or is that like that's the game?
I mean, I think you can sell just a part of your royalty and still keep you can at least 1% of or something like that, because as a musician, you would have to be aware of what music can bring in life, and that would be something like too dumb to give everything and let everyone just make millions on your back, and you having absolutely no incentive into it. I mean, there's a minimum to me, but I believe the microeconomy, microtransactions economy, and the royalties split and everything would allow. That's what we saw with a band royalty recently. You know, that is buying catalogs of music and then reselling 50% of the rights to an NFT owner. And I believe it's more, fair in some way that someone is just bringing the business, and but still the original owner or creator still kind of deserves the a part of the pie. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree with the sentiments in the chat. Just don't sell all your rights. 100%. Yeah, I would never do that. That's what I was saying. Like, if you're gonna sell 100, but look, I do think that that's an interesting game to play, though.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an artist who can crank out songs, and you're just like, I just made this fucking song in 1 hour. I don't give a fuck about it. I'm gonna sell it right now. All my rights to it. Somebody go make
Yeah,
this
but
into whatever you want.
what?
And if you can do that consistently, fuck it, dude. Like, just keep tossing them out and just keep selling them. Eventually you're gonna be very disappointed when somebody knows how to flip your music. But um,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's interesting. I mean, yesterday we just did this thing at a song camp, and it was hilarious. We literally had 35 minutes, which I actually made a documentary of it already. I already flipped it into a documentary, little mini doc, which I will share at the end of this. By the way, I'll share it at the end of this. Um, but it's we literally had a thing where we had to all get in random groups and make a song in 35 minutes, and it was fucking mayhem, like literally chaos, but it was so much fun. Um, I didn't know this is a film club. Uh, I film everything. I'm not gonna lie. Like not everything, but I do film a
You are
lot. I
being
film a lot,
filmed
especially
right
whenever
now.
I'm like, you are being filmed right
Everyone in
now.
the chat.
No,
Is-
yeah. I but the reason I bring that up is, you know, if something like that were to happen, right, where there's like these song camps where you have one day and everybody just makes songs, and then at the end of that day, there's like um, this whole group of people, um, uh, sorry, I'm like losing my train of thought. This whole group of people is basically like the sellers, right? Like these middlemen, which I know that we don't like that term right now because that's the point here. But let's just say, like, this is the idea. Like, one day you guys all make songs. 20 songs are at the end of that day, and those creators all just made those songs, whatever. And then there's 20 people at the end of the day that go and then push those songs. And there's just like a big split of the percentages between all those people. Like, maybe it's 90% you're selling, and then the creators like keep 10% or something. Um, and then that's just a thing that happens every week or every so often. I don't know. I like the idea of utilizing these technologies to like create, first of all, new types of art, and second of all, just a whole new market. Um, because in the old world, in the old market, so to speak, it's really challenging, I think, to make money at your craft without really like knowing the right people, and not even knowing the right people, but then playing to their game because they have the leverage. If you know the right person and you know that they know the right person, and that's how you're going to get something, you automatically owe them the leverage. But when you can kind of be like, look, I made this, and I can kind of create this smart contract that's going to divvy it up, and then you can go, and it's way less out of the control. because once again, like that person who's trying to fuck you over is only trying to fuck you over because they know that the person that they're about to sell your music to is gonna really fuck you over, and so they have to kind of get in on it a little bit too. And so it's just a series of people fucking each other over, taking more and more percentage from each other. When if you create a path straight to a whole new game, a whole new business where people are just selling rights to independent filmmakers, even
Hmm.
not to bring that back up. It could be really interesting. It could
Yeah.
be really interesting,
I
but who
mean,
knows?
you can even think of it like the Doge kind of community movement, where you just create something, you keep 1%, and you allow the 99% that left to creating something that has the resonance of a Dogecoin community. And so you let that community
No
create
doubt.
the value of your token, but you would be, way enough to live out of this with just 1% left, and incentivize all the community into the music, make it a meme, make dance over TikTok, whatever, make it
Yep.
crazy, and just let the community take it really for
Wow.
itself, and then
Wow, dude. Wait, hold up, dog. Hold up, dog. Give me 1 millisecond.
we are too hot
You just
tonight.
gave me such a fucking idea. You just gave me such an idea, bro. Dude, imagine if a group of TikTokers that are doing all these dances to songs, like 10 of them, the top 20, let's just say the top 50 TikTok creators who are doing dances to songs, they all band together and they created their own business, and they said, we are going to buy the commercial rights to these songs.
Mhm.
And then basically what they're going to do is they go and these kids basically create a whole ass organization where they themselves, no labels, no radio, no bullshit, because TikTok is blowing up artists right now. TikTok is single-handedly
Mhm.
the most powerful thing for an artist right now. And it's like all of these creators could band together and say, hey, let's get our money together and let's buy the rights off of these independent artists.
Yeah,
Because first of all, they'll get them much cheaper, and then they can blow the songs up
yeah,
just by doing dances on TikTok.
that's a game. That's
That's a genius, bro. That's
that's
crazy.
something. Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
crazy. If you've never had TikTok, don't get it, because it's
It's
honestly
dangerous.
it's it's bad, dude. It's bad. You go on there and you're just like, how am I still
How
on
do I
this?
get out? Yeah, for sure.
I TikTok. Yo, easy. I saw your questions. I love them. I can't wait to answer those questions in the interview. Which, by the way, if you guys aren't in my Discord yet, what the fuck are you doing? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But listen. More votes coming tomorrow. More votes coming tomorrow. I have an album art that I'm curious about. I'm gonna let everybody decide on. You guys did pick the first song. You picked the first song. It's gonna be Evidence. Evidence is gonna be dropping sometime this week. But it's a short one, but nonetheless. And shout out Mighty, by the way. I keep it pretty quiet with all the music I'm working on, but Mighty is literally mastering every single song I have, and he's a fucking beast. He's extremely patient with me as well, as we go back and forth a lot. But it's great. It's
That's
great.
fine.
It's how we get to these. It's how we get to incredible sounds.
Yeah,
But
keep your ears open, because yeah, there are some huge stuff coming over for sure.
oh, somebody dropped the link. Fuck yeah, dude. But
Stay
and
mighty like
but
33. That's a quote from Vandal from my album. I love this one. This line. Stay mighty like 33.
I love that. And the only thing I'll say is, it also, like I said, more votes coming. But there's Ask Me Anything in there that, if you guys have any questions for me that you're like, I really want to know the juicy details about your life, how you do this or whatever, or you just want to just talk some shit, I'll address it in this interview I'm doing. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. But easy, like I said, I saw your questions, and they're hilarious, and I'm excited to answer.
Yeah.
You're gonna be surprised on one, though. You're gonna be surprised on one. Do you like losing at Mario Kart or love it?
So
I can't answer these questions yet, but drop it in the forum. Drop it in the forum, and
so
you
I
earn
can
my for
drop
this. You earn my for this. You earn
questions
my.
as well, right?
I love it. No forums. It's in the announcements tab. But
Hmm.
anyways, let's not worry about it. Let's not worry about it right now. I don't want to show. But good stuff coming. Good stuff coming though.
Yeah,
Lots of good stuff coming.
definitely. For sure. So yeah, just wanted to shout out RRC, Rack. I never pronounce it well. Who's doing the headlines at Rolling Stones with a pretty long article explaining his latest achievements. So I find it significative, since the talks we had about King of Leon, first music NFTs and such, that finally Rolling Stones is starting to dive into the more of the pioneers. We good. So yeah, I was
What in the
saying.
hell going on? What in
So-
the hell going on in here?
So yeah, finally Rolling Stones is getting into the pioneers community and learning or introducing their readers into more complex content, and so yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, this is really interesting. I mean, like, I mean, I got a question. Maybe it's a hot take. But I'm curious. I honestly do not follow Rack enough to know.
Mhm.
So please just somebody let me know. But Rack, the artist, producer, and creator of Rack, Future 25, Detective Obsessed, Rack went from making me. Okay, maybe I read this wrong. Okay, maybe I was about to climb for a second there. But I just
It's just like a
is
portrait article,
is Rack the number one person that we should? Is he the guy that we should be showcasing? Maybe it's a hot take.
We can let the chat decide. But yeah, no, to me,
My volume up a little.
Yeah, he's.
Am I quiet, guys? Am I quiet?
What do you mean?
Musashi keeps saying to turn my volume up. My bad.
Oh,
I'm on
no,
my phone right now. That's the problem.
that's fine. But yeah, to me, he's definitely part of the top headlines, part of the like top 10 people that like Deadmo5, Blau, that are head Imogen Heap as well. People that have been here very early, doing a lot of researches and everything. This week I was kind of like, when it comes to the music. I mean, it's not a critic at all. I'm just not the audience of rock music in general, and I'm wondering or looking at it, with for example, the hip hop, trap, American scene, or even in France, or very different kind of music. The kinds of one that fights in the charts every day. And everything, and I'm not really looking at rock into this category of music, but when I look at it into the music and blockchain researchers, he's definitely like a head, or being the one that made the who's done a lot of noise, and in not bad noise, interesting moves that learn to everyone a lot of things, and experimenting with stuff that he was the only one, to bring very early, and so on. So yeah, I'm not talking about the music aspect, which I mean, it's a different conversation. But when I look into the blockchain and researchers, I see him as the one of the top head to pick from 4 Rolling Stones pretty easily. Like he's one of the no-brainers to invite to do a portrait article around him, and take his case as a entry door for the Rolling Stones average reader.
No, that's a good point. That's a really good point. I mean, it's like he's probably the better person to showcase rather than maybe somebody who is OG in the space and maybe is doing something a little more like, I don't know, a little more next level. I mean, look, I'm not saying he's not doing something next level. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, as much as I like see the crypto the sphere, I know he was early. And I know he created his coin early, and I know he has a lot of help from very, very top level people helping him create his coin. And this is really less about a conversation about Rack. It's more about a conversation about Rolling Stone.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just
Yeah.
utilizing Rack as the means to ask the question, which is, it seems like it always is the case where whenever we are talking about this space in a mainstream way, it's never really accurate. And it's not like it's inaccurate. It's just strangely led. And I wonder if that's on purpose or if it's just simply just headline based, or I mean, I don't know. And maybe I'm theorizing in a direction that's irrelevant, and that's possible. But just yeah. So
Yeah.
I feel you.
And I will
It's just
probably get into the article to say the consistency of it, because as of now we haven't read it, so it's just talking about the form of this headline manifestation.
yeah, but I mean, hey, like, shout out Rack. He's doing his thing. He's definitely still doing things next level, and
Mm-hmm.
in terms of coming from the Web2 world and being an independent artist, I think like he's doing it he's doing it, so he's doing it the right way. Like I said, I don't follow him enough to really know. I just know that he said that he thinks that shaking hands is something that he never understood why humans did. And when I saw that, I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't love that. I didn't love that take. Listen, I don't love that take. I don't love that take, guys. If you are afraid to shake someone's hand
There is something
for germs,
that can be said as well, and we've said ourselves that, if tomorrow Rolling Stones calls us to talk about music and NFT, probably we would be honored, like everyone, for the invitation to bring the knowledge into the Rolling Stones audience, which is kind of legendary. But even though I'm not willing to bow myself to Rolling Stones just for the symbol, but because we are independent and fighting for this kind of rebel mindset and everything, but on the surface, and we will see, and as we see as well, I say this to answer La Jorita question, to invite Rack here to interview him, and we did once when it was around the async music release, but at the time he did not attended any promotion around neither organized by async or our invitation, but which doesn't mean he didn't talk about it. He just had his own way that he felt more comfortable having to talk about it. And so maybe, who knows, in the future, I would love to welcome here with us to talk and share about music and blockchain in general. But what I wanted to say is that, when it comes to Rolling Stones, I mean, his attention right now is to answer Rolling Stones because and not really being very close to the Metaverse community yet. That's how I feel. But maybe he's more like grounded, to the earth, and he looks at the that's speculation, but I can kind of retro engineer something. It's just my feeling right now that he's looking more at the field, outside world, and finding solutions to get that working again, and have interactions that sound grounded and not, too much into the metaverse, something, utopic, the kind of utopic vision of the metaverse, and so he's right into, the necessity to work in priority to get the message wider spread than riding the metaverse and chilling, not doing or doing things, but that may make less sense for the music industry today, because it's too early for these things to be really get into. But I don't know if you see what I'm trying to picture, but he's more grounded.
100%. I do. I definitely see what you're saying, and I think that's a super I think it's generous. I mean, like in a good way. Like I don't mean generous as in like it's not deserved. I think that's the only other answer here is that yeah, he's not really into the the celebrityism, so to speak, is really how I would put it. Is that he's more about like just kind of like being in the field of what he's actually building, and not really into doing all the extra stuff. Even though that him being on Rolling Stone doesn't really say that.
Yeah, he's not in. That doesn't say that he's not in the metaverse, but I mean, he his attention is on priority that the opportunities around him brings him today, and that for sure sounds like priorities to rather than minting a wearable on crypto voxels, which is something that I did this week. But to me, both are important in some regards. But yeah, one is more like a dream for the future, and the other one is more grounded into getting the knowledge around, which doesn't mean that minting a wearable on crypto voxels isn't going to bring knowledge in some ways, but it's different games, and definitely something more close to developing the metaverse culture. I mean, what we're doing here, than having ourselves loud out there on Rolling Stones yet, but I believe this time will come soon enough. Not saying that for us, but that Rolling Stones will, once the metaverse culture take over, get into that aspect of music and blockchain and art in general. But yeah, especially when it comes to when major artists not only create their first NFT, but will have their avatars and things, and get into really that metaverse culture, or newcomers, new stars that emerge from now on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I guess you well look. I think we're probably expecting maybe too much from Rolling Stone in the first place. At the end of the day, Rolling Stone is going to obviously do what benefits their bottom line the most. So, no pressure. No pressure for Rolling Stone to do the clivity on that schlivity, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. So moving on, there are some business ads. Like you can sign up for OPULOUS today if you want to work there as head of artist services. They are looking for job opportunities. So that's just the blockchain and music space hiring. But yeah, another actually there's a couple of articles by Rolling Stones around that same topic, like the Future 25, and it's the YellowHeart founder and CEO Josh Katz that we talked about last week and some previous weeks, who they launched their own platform, NFT platform, and their first on it was I think it was the extentation thing. And yeah, so they had their own article as well, following up because they were as well closely tied to the King of Leon's NFT. So they seem to write a lot around that particular company as in the wave of this Future 25 mentions. But yeah,
What's the beef with YellowHeart? Wait, hold on.
It's as well, like a portrait article. There's no particular news except bringing this profile, resuming the story from Kings of Leon to who we are, YellowHeart, as a marketplace.
Oh yes, Lindsay did explain to me her beef with YellowHeart. Basically, they're just fucking. Should I explain the beef?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up so I can reference the messages. Can you hear me still?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me still?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry.
What's the beef?
I'm gonna pull this up.
It's beef time.
And then I'm gonna come back because I think when I go to when I go to like outside of my app, I think like the audio doesn't work. It's pretty strange. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's beef time. I got some
It's beef
beef
time.
that I haven't talked about yet. Interesting ones for the purpose of research, education.
You got beef? Let's go, dude. I love talking about beef. Look, I'm a big fan of beef in the sense that, you know, I think beef is underrated. Beef is how we get stuff going. Like, I'm trying to start some beefs. Like, I want someone to actively disrespect me so that I can basically
Beef.
shit on them. And then they can shit on me. And then we can have a lot of fun.
Sure. And
then we can forgive each other. And then everybody in the community is like, wow, that was so epic.
and
It was
then
like
you
Biggie
fight
and
back.
Pac.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, just
Okay,
before,
sorry. I found the beef.
La Jorita asked me if you can feed and update your map. Actually, I would be, if you want to be as a contributor to the map, I can set up that as long as you don't mess everything up. But I mean, definitely, I was looking for
Okay,
contributors
so
to
in
participate.
the in
You hear me? But yeah, we can talk about it.
okay, so basically, the way I interpreted the ramblings of Lindsay was in a good way, though, in a good way, good ramblings. But basically, the way I interpreted it was uh essentially what YellowHeart did with the Kings of Leon drop, and is this could have been a mistake on the technological side, but look, the way I understand NFTs, this type of technological error just doesn't um this type of shit shouldn't fuck up, right? But I'll give one example that you brought up. So basically, she mentioned how there was supposed to only be like say 250 versions of a certain NFT, but then after 250, there was more sales or something. Like they kept going. And then they were like, "Oh, we don't know why they're still going." And then they just kind of tried to play dumb about it, and then essentially what they did from there was yeah, okay, cool. So it just kept going, and then they tried to what? They basically ignored the issue. Like people would reach out to them, and then they started to like just ignore the fact that it was happening. Here's my beef with that. Like if there's no way that could be a technological error the way I understand NFTs, because they're supposed to be um scarce, and they're supposed to be like hardwired digital assets that are a certain amount of this. And this was supposed to be the Kings of Leon drop, for the record.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the Kings of Leon drop. So and look, there's a lot of details I'm not really not really fully aware of here, but essentially they fucked up some things. Apparently the vinyls haven't even been sent out yet. And basically there's just a lot of issues with what they promised from these NFTs. And this goes back to the beginning of this conversation, which is like, look, people jumped into this space and they were like, let's capitalize on the technology, let's capitalize on what's happening right now, and let's get some headlines out there. They'll be like, hey, Kings of Leon, you should do this. Like, you guys aren't really doing anything else. You might as well drop an NFT, make a bunch of money, fuck people over, and then, we'll put you in Rolling Stones and say you're the first person to do this. Who's not going to do that? Especially when you're completely owned by labels and managers and lawyers. It's like, dude, you don't even own your path to destiny. So of course you're going to do that. So I'm not going to even blame Kings of Leon. Like, they're puppets at the end of the day, as most industry people are. And no disrespect, it's just the way it is. Like, if you want to be in that game and play that game, you are a puppet by nature. There's no way to get out of it. So unfortunately, though, yeah, the YellowHeart, I guess, did some shady things with it, and there's
Mm-hmm.
still some more info perhaps that could be explained that I'm not explaining, but I'm just trying to sell it. So yeah, fuck YellowHeart.
I don't know. Can I do a little parenthesis for a question for
Please.
you? A question
Yeah.
straight for you, Mai. Do you think you can get something that would act like an anti-pop filter for your mobile microphone? Because that's the only thing that would make it perfect.
Oh, am I popping heavy?
Yeah, kind of.
My bad, guys. I'm so sorry. Let me honestly, like, my computer should be a little more chilled. Let me go to the computer and let me see if the computer's right. And if you hear the crowd yelling, you know that the computer
It's
is
back.
back. It's
Yeah.
back. By the way, guys, my computer is completely fucked. I tried to get a new computer like a year ago, and I actually did get one, and then I got the computer, and none of my programs worked on it. So I just returned it and never got another one. So I've had the same computer for like 7 years now. It's like
I see.
near its like complete death. It's near the point now where it's just like it's really like fucking around on me, man.
Mhm.
But hey, listen, we still make smash hits on it, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. But
I'm kidding.
yeah, about the YellowHeart, I was not aware of the issue, and it's interesting because I've seen that kind of issue in some different NFT project where you set a kind of rules in the beginning, and then once it has started, everything plays out absolutely not how they figure it would happen. And so things go out of control, and the Discord go crazy, and everything. So I don't know all the extent of the story here, but that's interesting. Whoa, yeah.
We're back, baby, with the official mic. You guys love that. You love that crispy audio. That crisp.
Yeah,
We in?
absolutely.
Okay. My world. Install Linux on your computer. It'll work for another 10 years. Is that a secret hack? Because baby, don't hurt me. Oh yeah, dude. Don't get us jamming in here. It's a smash hit. Don't hurt me anymore. What was I gonna say? I wasn't sure what I was gonna say. No copy pastas. Hey man, I love pasta. Listen, I've been thinking of making a cooking show. I do a lot of random content right now. I'm just literally making anything I can at this point. But I make pasta like almost every other day. And I've just like thought like why not make a video of me chefing up that fucking pasta, dude? It'd be hilarious. And I'd edit it up and I'd put on my Italian side and it'd be good. It'd be real fun.
You know what? I
Yes,
just opened this news, interesting one, which says a music-focused NFT marketplace raised 4 million from Mark Cuban, Kutcher, I believe Ashton Kutcher, and Dapper's CEO. And I haven't heard of this one, so I clicked on it, and it's called NFT Genius, actually. And here it is on the screen. So they are about to open in 21 days, but they raised that amount of money from big investors. So interesting. It's a leading digital production company transforming the way in which brands connect and interacts with their customer, with utility and experience design at core. NFT Genius is radically changing the world of digital collectibles, one meaningful experience at a time. Okay.
Oh man, look at this. I love it. Look, Mark Cuban, when he first got into space, he saw it early. He's like, look, I know what's up. Crypto buds, why are they taking my font type? I'm just kidding. It's literally the most basic fucking pixel font type. It's pretty much what I'm using for like all my fonts right now.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? I really don't know what I was gonna say, but yeah, hey, shout out to Mark Cuban for being ahead of the game. I mean, look, this is the thing that I still like. I'm gonna just keep reiterating. It's like I'm waiting for all of these like I think OpenSea and Rarible and Nifty Gateway. I think all of these will still last. I think everything will still have its place, and everybody will be able to have their stake and their slice of the market. But when someone like Mark Cuban wants to create an NFT platform, or like when someone like we talked about a couple weeks ago, Quincy Jones wants to create a music NFT platform with all these big artists, I see these things coming into the space and disrupting the whole market. It's just they're just gonna come in and they're gonna most likely take, I think, a large share of of the crowd. Who knows though?
Mhm.
So I mean, but that's my sentiment. That's my guess. That's my guess. I
Yeah, I
really
mean,
don't know, but
it's, here it's interesting to see that the marketplace will be running on the Dapper's Labs Flow blockchain, which is another layer 2 solution built specifically by Dapper Labs for their purposes, and in which I believe Mark Cuban is also close to. And but yeah, seeing as well Ashton Kutcher and Anthony Pompliano is interesting here because everything that's been revolving around Dapper's Lab has been pretty successful, and seeing the money going in to develop what they claim to be really music-oriented platform. Even saying that they can also expect to bring NFTs to sport and gaming and comedy and whatever, but they are interested into being close to music. There's a short clip. Let me see. No, it's not short. So yeah, interesting.
it's not short.
But as well, I can see, the big players and some, shady connections being tied to this kind of news and business. So that's kind of worry me in some way with these platforms, especially having big marketing and cyberpunk looking website, saying pretty much always the same. After reading 200 website homepage with the music and blockchain, you read pretty much often the same thing said differently with nice words and whatnot, but it doesn't really outstand most of the time, so you're pretty much always reading the same thing again and again. But here I have this same kind of feeling. There's a ticket to get in onto the platform, but I can see, some shady connections getting into this game and trying to do I don't know what, but I'm not 100% confident of. Even though I recognize the technological aspect of building a marketplace, a music-oriented marketplace on the Flow blockchain, supervised by Dapper Labs and everything, I can see this as a very bullish move. But
Yeah. I do like this. Look, after even like reading even like skimming that article, I do like this a lot.
mhm.
And like, they got some good endorsements. Like, yeah, like we've been on the vibes. We've been on the vibe. We understand the concept that, hey, like, look, when music artists can turn their music into what Top Shot is, and people are actively trading little baby verses, or they're trading moments in songs or whatever, whatever's popular, and people are trading these. I could see it happening. I could see it. You thought I meant baby verses and like small verses. I actually meant Lil Baby, like the actual artist. Oh, you knew.
Yeah, but countless new platforms as I go through the different tabs I opened. Like I'm counting like 5 already from this week's news. So that's as well pretty overwhelming. I believe a lot of people are, filtering and focusing their attention into layer 2 solutions right now and trying to foresee the potential of those, trying to experiment a next level thing, and like, okay, we've played around with Ethereum network around the NFT space and everything. So we've seen the limits, we've seen the outcomes, the potential network effects, and we've seen a lot of things. But now I feel like the core community is really like, okay, this year let's do something new, and so really kind of filtering the noise by focusing the attention around the layer 2 solutions, the royalties, and more complex smart contracts and more efficient technology in general. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
that's a trick
couple.
to cut into the noise.
Yeah, no doubt. It is definitely a trick. something to watch out for, but definitely something to also pay attention to, just being smart. But there's two comments in the chat I wanted to address. Number one, Easy, you said we've been talking about music moments for Cypher, spilling some beans. Well, I'm going to reiterate that bean spill. I also want to mention, I've said it, I actually think I said it whenever you guys were on the show. I would really love to see battles, like battles every week that people can just vote on, and like two verses go up against you, or like, you created like a Pokemon thing where it's like, hey, you put your verse in this category, and everybody who wants to be involved in that all puts their verses in that category or whatever, and then just let the people vote on them, and maybe allocate a little bit of fund to the winners or whatever. And maybe I'm climbing here, but I just think that type of shit could be incredible. I
But
love it. I think that type of shit. Competition excites the fuck out of me in music, and it happens in music without it even being a thing. Wait until it's an actual thing, and that's what I really see. I really see that shit happening.
But like on TikTok
I
right
love
now, I discovered that in the live section, when you're looking for people that are doing lives on TikTok, sometimes you find you go across two people that play like the battle button, and they push the battle button, and once they hit that, it kind of split screen them too, and they kind of fight in a verbal clash. And then the people watching basically live vote for the winner, and a couple seconds later you have a winner and everything. So in the like of Cypher, having these moments, being connected with a real chat that can in real time be part of the record, and of the metadata when it's minted. So this is a battle, this is who won, this is who voted, and everything, and then you would craft the whole moment as metadata, as well as the music aspect of it. That can be interesting.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that idea. I also saw another chat in here about Amplify, which I'm assuming you're talking about Amplify Art. Are we talking about Amplify Art? I don't know who exactly brought it up, but Amplify Art. I've seen them. Actually, I think I've talked to somebody on their team. But I don't really know exactly what they are. I know that they're trying to claim that they're helping artists create NFTs or create social icons. I really don't know. I really have no idea what Amplify Art does, but they seem like they have a pretty active team. They seem like they're building. They seem like they're pretty excited about whatever they're building. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, the same. It evokes me something I came across, but I have not much information about it right now.
Okay. Yes, not 100% certain on that, but yeah, hey, literally, I'm all about the battle game though. I'm all about the battle lifestyle. I know that the real hip hop heads are also about the battle game, because that's kind of what not that I don't want to limit hip hop into just being about battling, because that's kind of lame. But at the same time, I think it's also a very exciting aspect of the sport of rap. The sport of rap. I'm all about it. Absolutely. Shout out Louis, by the way. He was on our
Yeah,
Bullish or Bearish. We did him on the Bullish or Bearish show. And that was exciting. He was our first one. But
that's
but yeah,
the interesting part of this conversation is like the community effects of having without the drama, hopefully, but the kind of East Coast versus West Coast kind of vibe, but into combines with Doge and GameStop kind of network effect, like community literally taking control of their craze financially and everything, over competition between different artists and music genres and everything.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I see that. I see the question. Oh yeah. Beat battle. And I think I'm gonna try and enter that. I only got 3 days at this point. I don't know. I might do it. I also might not, because if I make a good enough beat, I don't know if I really want to just use it for a beat battle. But hey, listen, I also might want to use it for a beat battle. I don't know. Maybe I'm sounding stupid. I don't know. I might do it. Who knows? But Good stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, Mighty, aren't you a judge for that?
What are we talking about?
The beat battle?
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Well, dude, I got the inside scoop. I mean, literally, if I entered the beat battle, yes, Easy already saw what I was going for. No rigging.
Yeah, we talked about it already. Yeah, I have to be impartial, absolutely, and so no tricks,
I would.
no cheats.
I would never. I would never. I actually feel like it's probably against good competition to enter at this point. But hey, lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff in the works. What else is going on in the world of news?
Well, I can go through. I see Asian music NFT, cryptocurrency artist, blockchain marketplace. Is this the future of music? This kind of article. But what else do we have? Yeah, this band royalty thing, NFT Series 1 features 15 unique music, blockchain, art, celebrities, industry diversity. And so every series of bands NFT released will feature unique artwork and design. So yeah, I think that's what we covered already, which was their first series of original NFT, which doesn't represent the royalties ownership of the catalog they are buying. So they just did, a starter collection signed by band to have really unique artwork that represent the launch of the platform and everything. So I think it's about that. What else? Music NFT platform One of co-founded in partnership with Quincy Jones raised 63 million, but we had it already. Rolling Stones again, and Rolling Stones, this one, Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park frontman and AI artist investor on the future of music. So they've been, as well, Rolling Stone is doing a portrait of Mike Shinoda and his, latest achievements within the blockchain space. So they take the story back from 1996 and where he came from and develops everything, all his journey through the music industry and how he end up being into the blockchain space as a forefront man. So this is a kind of same of the Future 25 move from Rolling Stones, this series of article, and yeah, so another portrait from Rolling Stones, and a fourth one, which I don't know of, but is Benji and Joel Madden, twin entrepreneurs on the future of music, but again, kind of a portrait, and asking for speculation, what about in the next 15 years from their point of view. So yeah, we really can see Rolling Stones diversifying portraits to talk about the music and blockchain in general. But yeah, moving along.
I just wanted to bring up one thing.
Yeah.
I saw that. I honestly, I'm such an idiot. I don't know how to say your name 100%, but La Joyita.
See.
I'm gonna go with that. Is that right? Let's go. He said, I live in El Salvador most of the time for if you went to launch a Bitcoin-based music project. I don't know if you were kidding, but that sounds really interesting. I'd be interested to just see what you mean about that, but maybe we can talk afterwards. I don't know. I'm interested to see what details that really actually includes. But it sounds interesting as fuck. And that is dope though. That is a piece of news that we talked about on Bullish or Bearish, but we just in general. That's huge. And I think more countries are gonna move to do it within the next couple months. Like it's gonna happen really fast. And then you wanna know what's gonna happen right after that? A bunch of regulations. Like 100%.
Yeah, very quickly.
And then hopefully I make enough money that I can get the fuck out of America. No, I'm kidding. I'm not saying that America is not the place to be. Who knows? Who knows, guys? Who knows where to be? I don't think there's anywhere we can go that's not completely fucked at this point.
But I've been wondering about this El Salvador headline, this week as well, and this was pretty interesting or very noticing is to say the least, like the first country to accept the Bitcoin as the currency. But as we talked about just before, we saw Switzerland adopting blockchain into the law, the actual law. So that's interesting as well. So definitely, it's like the door has just opened, and now you will see all the domino falling on that side of society pretty quickly, I believe, or at least the question being asked because of the pressure that this first move has put onto every nation of the world, which is an interesting game. But yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
I kind of missed that. I was just reading the chats.
yeah.
But Louis sounds like he's coming for blood, which I love. You got to come for blood. Listen, look, here's the thing,
I
like,
could
dude,
hear that on the bullish
if you
and
don't go home,
bearish.
if you don't go home with either glory or tears in your eyes, what are you even alive? What do you want to go home? What do you want to go home in the middle? What do you want to go home in the middle? No. We want tears or we want glory. That's what we want. We don't want look, if we're going to play the game of duality, which we all play, but we don't have to, but if we're going to play it, I want to either leave with scars or I want to leave with
Wings.
somebody else's head in my hand. That's how I feel. But listen, yeah, I'm all about it. And it's not at the detriment of somebody else unless they're soft. No, I'm kidding, guys. Listen, I'm soft. I'm sensitive as hell. You say the wrong thing to me, dude. I'm gonna act like it didn't affect me. I'm gonna get off this chat and I'm gonna go home and definitely shed a few tears. But it is what it is, guys. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm reading Easy saying that the US said the blockchain is not on the list of things to work on now, which is an interesting insight. But
Love it. I'm sorry. Back to the news, huh?
no, I'm reading as well. Yeah, love the chat.
Yeah, the chat is great. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Yeah,
It's great to be able to share this experience with everybody. It's all about the interaction, guys. We're just building that community. We're building that strong vibe. Conflict resolution.
yeah, and
conflict resolution.
shout out to Space Painter, who is working in VR right now while listening to us. We can make some big bucks, like, to inspire you. Like, woo! I guess I hope it was a great inspiration. Yeah, I know. Thank you.
I love it.
So yeah, back to the news. I mean, I'm switching. I read something I thought interesting to click on because I saw the mention of Blankos, which is the game you talked about with Connie last time on the bullish and bearish, and it says Mythical Games reveals major fashion, music, art collabs for the Blankos block party with Burberry, Deadmo5, Quicks, El Gran Chamaco, and more. So they are kind of bringing big assets into the game, like renowned collaboration to make it look great. That's what I hear. So yeah.
Love this shit, dude. I literally love this shit. I can't wait. Like, I literally cannot fucking wait until there is a mainstream, everybody's in it metaverse. That's going to be the dopest shit ever. Because I'm going to have so much fun playing that shit. Look, when I was a kid, and I'm not saying that this is a proud moment of me, but if anybody who wasted their time playing By Then We Will Be Overlords, I love that, Lucy. I love that. That's 100% fact. In the best way. Hey, we'll be positive overlords, though. We'll be positive. The TokenSmart crew and community will be so positively rolling that everybody will be like, we need TokenSmart to solve this issue. And we'll come in, the white magicians that we are, and we'll help everybody. But there will be those dark magicians. Hey, these dark magicians are still here, guys. This is a battle between light and dark here.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, but what I'm saying here,
sure.
but what I was trying to get at with the metaverse thing is I spent a lot of time as a kid like playing RuneScape, And I remember whenever I was like, when I really got into it, I was like, I was basically trying to get my character so good that I could sell it on eBay. And
Yeah,
thinking back,
I
how
remember.
crazy is
I
that? Like,
remember that for World of Warcraft.
yeah, and like, and dude, that's an interesting vibe. I love it. The white hat token smarties, amazing.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, wait a minute, white hat. What? As long as that hat doesn't have a point to it, we're okay. But yeah. Anyways, but anyway, the point is, good stuff. Good stuff. I can't remember what I was talking about now.
Yeah, the Blancos, but I haven't got into it yet, so I still kind of don't know what we are talking about when we talk about the Blancos. But I still did an interesting new thing that others haven't done a lot this week, so I have my pride of achieving things, but I have to look into Blancos because I kind of don't realize at all what it is.
Yeah, I like I said, I'm just excited to see a metaverse like pop off, because once a metaverse pops off, I just think that's gonna do so much for NFTs. It's gonna do so much for just the Web3 space. I just really believe that, because that's when the kids will be here, and I know that that's like that's the thing that's gonna tip this over the edge, dude. Is when all of the kids are here. I'm talking the kids, like they're like telling their parents like, oh, mommy, daddy, look what I'm doing on Blancos. I'm over here fucking, I'm over
Yeah.
here looting. I'm over here looting, and then she's like, what do you mean you made $10,000 worth of ETH
Mhm.
by robbing the bank? What are you talking about, son? And then he's gonna show her, and she's gonna be like, Jesus. And then she's gonna look at her husband, Marty. He's on to something. And next
Mhm.
thing you know, bang, it's over. Sorry, I didn't even mean to use the word Marty there, but I just noticed that Marty McFly. So hey, shout out to you. You just got thrown into my story. Let's NFT that story, huh?
Sure. So yeah, another news we see like this artist made in TYO. Do you know about him? I don't. Who is doing
Made in Tokyo? Dude, I got a story about this guy.
made
Made in
in
Tokyo is
yeah
listen.
TYO. I don't know if it's Tokyo.
No,
Yeah, it's Tokyo
it's
airplane
made in yeah, it's made in
airport.
Tokyo. This dude is signed to the same label that bought the album that caused my old group to completely destroy itself. So I have
Okay.
beef with this dude's label, and I'm hoping that he did this to be defiant towards that label. I'm not gonna say the label name, but fuck them.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
anyways,
They heard it. That's good. So,
no, I hope they did hear it. No, they definitely know I don't fuck with them, and they definitely don't fuck with me. So
hmm.
it's not like I'm burning any bridges. Those bridges have been fucking 9/11.
But yeah, what's interesting to me here is that it's a Forbes headline. So Forbes has been writing about music and blockchain for a long time now. But basically, the article and the news is about him releasing his album in, I believe, exclusively on Audius, which sounds like the move. Like that's the article. He's putting his music on Audius, and but when I look at this, I'm like, okay, so I did like way more for a release, and I didn't do the Forbes headlines, but that's the network, and I don't particularly envy the situation. I'm just saying that now putting your music on Audius can grant you of a Forbes article. So I don't know what it says from any party involved in the existence of this news, but that's quite interesting and quite positive to me. So
No, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of going strictly Audius. I mean, this is my plan. I don't really ever plan to put my music on other platforms, except unless my community decides to. That's pretty much my thought process behind it.
mhm.
Not to tease how I'm gonna do it, but I basically will allow a certain process to determine if the music gets released everywhere. But Audius is typically where I'll be putting my music, um, as well as probably I think I'll still fuck with Emanate. I like Emanate, but I don't know. I like Emanate. I like Emanate. It's a love hate relationship. I had long talks with their team, and then it was just like, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't spill all the beans here.
But yeah, no, I wanted to shout out Cooper Turley because I recently came across materials he produced for thoughts, food for thoughts. Sorry, around the space, and but I feel as well that these days are the days where we tell where the the big media outlets like to tell stories. Take portraits of a few successful people in and then make it kind of Hollywood vibe and tell the story like the crypto millionaires they became. That's the time right now where these kinds of documentary or short footage, edited footage, are like welcome on the big media outlet, whether it's Forbes. Here in French, in France, we have one as well this week where the big 24-hour news outlet made a short documentary about these crypto millionaires and make the story all beautiful and crazy. So you just look at the beach and you know uh, be mad at it, and I feel like most of the top people from the community are being kind of instrumentalized as well in this vibe. So I don't know, or I would try to be watchful when it comes to the treatment of the information, and not being too much used as this uh, perfect portrait to bring to the mom household to get into blockchain or whatever. But still, this is interesting to see that, yeah, it's the time for the big news outlet to share lovely stories to blow people's mind, but quite on the surface still, about portrait, particular profiles, successful profiles within the space.
Yeah, this is cool. I mean, yeah, I think this is a semi not super old, probably like a month old. I don't know how long it is.
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago, three weeks ago. Yeah.
Because I remember when I saw it, I was like, yeah, like ETH was at like 30. ETH was pretty high at the time, and I was like, yeah. And I remember thinking, I was like, man, like, how up are some of these people? That's like what I like used to think, because I was like, Jesus, like this the ETH is up so much at this point that I'm like questioning, like, man, like some people probably got in so fucking early that they're just like disgustingly wealthy off of these things, and it's amazing. Like that's amazing.
Mhm.
But it is crazy to see that article. I mean, shout out Cooper. He's probably one of the first people in this space that I followed, and I was like, everything this guy says is just either inspiring, informative, or he leads you down a path of information. Cooper is probably one of the most interesting and intellectual dudes in the space that I really really fuck with. And he works on Audius, and he works with Rack, and he works with Friends with Benefits. He literally works on every major crypto project that's like pretty much going on right now. And I don't know if that says more about the projects or if that says more about him, but
Mhm.
nonetheless, it's good to see the right people being successful.
Yeah,
Not sure if
absolutely. And
that was the point, but
big shout out to Cooper's work in general because it's very inspirative and supportive. Yeah, back to the YellowHeart's conversation. The news that credited him as well in the Rolling Stone article is that they are launching, or they launches, their first ever fan community DAO with Maroon 5. So the with Maroon 5 part, I don't quite get it except for marketing purposes. But the interesting part is the first ever fan community DAO, which let me read the first lines here. It says the NFT marketplace for music and ticketing, which accept both crypto and credit card payment. It's hard to say credit card payment, so announced the launch of the first ever fan community decentralized autonomous organization as part of an NFT series released alongside Maroon 5's latest album titled Jordi. In addition to the DAO, YellowHeart will be minting open edition animated album artworks and drawn portraits of Maroon 5 band members. The drop kicked off on Friday, June 11th, and will wrap up on Friday. So the NFT series that will go toward funding the DAO will be available in 3 phases. The first part of the series acts as an entryway into the community, and the artwork for the NFT resembles a seed. Throughout the next 2 phases, the NFT will sprout and grow to become a living NFT that will be reflective of the changing carbon index. Interesting. To bring the NFT to life, YellowHeart has integrated an API from Carbon Monitor, an academic research project that monitors daily carbon dioxide output worldwide, which will prompt the NFT artwork to change based on the carbon index level at any given moment. Wow. When the carbon level is low, the image will flourish with growing flowers, and when it is high, the image will change to include things that do well in high carbon environments, such as mushroom. The 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 DAO will officially launch during the final phase of the series, and all funds raised will be applied towards social and environmental impact issues presented by the band and voted on by the DAO community. So interesting, as I was not later than yesterday looking at a great video, not getting into conspiracy things, but explaining in very basic terms why the climate warming thing, and so by extension the carbon issue that everyone is being conscious about is not really what it's being told it is. So that's deep. That's interesting to see this
I
whole
was gonna say,
concept.
I was just about to say, and I love what you're saying, dude. I legitimately, I 100% agree with you. And as you know, I'm on the same type of thought process. But I'm so ready for the conversation of like the environmental impact of like fucking NFTs to like just stop, because it's so like entertaining the conversation at all is giving credence to the conversation. And to be honest,
Mhm.
I just think like the more we talk, like not us, like we should speak about it, you know, and bring this up just because we can. But I just mean like I'm so sick of like seeing big corporations or big drops or big people that get into the space and they're like, "Don't worry, we're not gonna destroy the economy with my NFT," or like, "Don't worry, whenever the proper technology." It's like, why is that a fucking conversation? It's just, it's so, it's just it, yeah, it's just it's a distraction. Yeah, I love that. It's exactly what it is. It's just it's a distraction from the real real point of the truth here. And you know, the more that they're distracting you from the real truth means that they haven't figured out how to basically take advantage of the technology yet, which means they need us to be kind of more thrown to the wayside while they can continue to think on how they can properly fuck us with this technology.
And
But at the end of the day,
they also need Maroon 5 for them to do so.
Of
Just
course, Maroon 5 is like one of the biggest shill groups out there. Look, I'm not saying Maroon 5 doesn't make, you know, when their first couple albums were classic hits, dude.
mhm.
She Will Be
I love
Loved.
them.
She Will
Yeah.
Be Loved. What's that other song? There's another song by them that I'm just like thinking of right now.
Mhm.
Smash it. Loved it. My ninth grade self, dude. Every crush I had, I thought about this song. Amazing. But anyways, so I liked Maroon 5 when they first came out, but now they're just complete industry plants.
Yeah.
You know, Adam Levine, like, dude, I don't trust these dudes. I don't trust these dudes at all. Like,
Mhm.
I don't even care if you make a smash hit, bro. I'm just not trusting you.
That's how I feel. That's from my perception what the situation is right now as well. So yeah, when I see those collaboration, I this you know, the first ever fan community DAO mechanism sounds very interesting, but it seems I don't know, like I don't want to use a word that is too powerful, but I have plagued in
Word.
mind. I've like yeah, kind of plagued before it already started. I don't know. Or you're playing with high level energy with these kind of things, and you may have in your hand the ability to drive that energy in directions that can be misleading. So I would be careful, as a consumer of this kind of products, caring, from a musician point of view. But yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, YellowHeart, and I know YellowHeart was a part of the XXX drop, and it's making me really fucking question.
Mm-hmm.
Cause remember, I was a little bit hesitant. I was like, I don't know how I feel about XXX selling NFTs, and then I didn't put the pieces together. And after today's discussion, reminded from Lindsay about the problem that YellowHeart created. I am basically not feeling YellowHeart's vibe. I don't know. I don't trust them, but who knows? They could just be the puppets of the elites to kind of like put out an agenda, just put out a storyline, make NFTs like this, talk about this, do that, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I mean, as of now, they've been pretty quickly be part of the major headlines for the big media outlets. So yeah, they definitely took part of the pie in the narrative conversation happening recently. So, and yeah, again, coming with you don't come with Maroon 5 like that, or this deal with extentation or the other big artists they were coming with. So yeah, it's definitely from an insider move, and that would make me question as well the whole project. But they are doing interesting things, experimenting on their side as well. So, and it just brings these celebrities at the forefront of the headlines into that space, and makes it kind of a weird feeling from, it's like, I don't know, it feels weird that from a day to another you get Maroon 5 popping here, like, hello, that's me, I'm doing DAO, so yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Definitely some weird moves happening over there.
right. And I mean, I don't want to give zero credit. It's just like, who knows? Like, at the end of the day, maybe they have good intentions, but like, it's just like, you can't trust the industry to all of a sudden start to like completely be like, you know what? Let's be incredibly giving.
Yeah.
Let's be incredibly giving all of a sudden. Like, after years of raping you, we have decided to give back. We decided to give back. Like, what do you like? Like, nobody considering. But what's sad though is the regular world eats this shit up. They just eat it up. They buy it, fucking hook, line, and sinker all day.
Yeah, that's
And
what makes
it's tough. It's tough
feel
to sit
bad.
back
Yeah.
and just.
That's what's make me feel weird about it. It's exactly like you described. It's suddenly things hadn't changed because we're entering the metaverse, especially when it comes to, and it's like the performing right organizations or Spotify saying, hey, we're using blockchain. Okay, cool. What are you gonna do with it? And that's the same issue here. Like, hey, we are the kings of NFTs, and we just enter the space without noticing anyone before entering, and we are crushing it. We are so generous, and the power back to the artist and whatnot, and the fans first. I mean, here in the headline, what I see is the fan being targeted in this headline. Being with Maroon 5 as a trigger, like, hey, you cannot pass by because it's Maroon 5. Hey, you are missing on this cultural hit maker and so on. So that's basically how headlines works as well, especially for the research purposes, where you see names that are pioneers or stuff. You're more willing to look into it because you're interested into it, and that's. But here it's this trap for the fan,
Right.
I don't know, like it may be good and the experimentation worth being kept an eye on, I believe, but yeah, it sounds not like authentic. I don't know, so like genuine, or yeah.
It's like a lure.
Comes out of
It's
nowhere.
like a lure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is out of no, but and it's probably because of the fact like they're trying to lure in like we've said for the past 4 or 5 months as we've done this show. It's only a matter of time until the mainstream world catches on. And what happened over that course of that time? The mainstream world caught on, but did the average person catch on? Not in the right way. And that made us all kind of scratch our heads like, wait a minute, okay, you got guys like you got big name dudes coming in here doing big name projects, doing things, and it's just not landing with the average person. In fact, it's almost kind of like a joke, or it's like being defied, or just not simply understood. But the technology is here, and like I said at the beginning of the show, it's not going away, and eventually everybody will get it. And so it's almost like they're trying to lure people in with a very shitty, not shitty, but they're trying to lure people into a world with their vision in mind, so that when people come in the first time, they're going to be in a very controlled, a very systematically like just like the wrong way. It's not going to be framed in the correct manner. And so people who do get introduced it through maybe this DAO, that could be the worst case scenario, because then they're going to be used to this DAO that maybe is giving this, which the ones that we are currently all trying to build and free ourselves with are built on totally different principles, whereas they're going to just build it on the principles that they kind of are almost trying to hope that they can sway everybody into. Or they're doing it to completely disrupt everything and fuck everything up so that more regulations come even faster. Either way, both of those situations could be a possibility. Or hey, maybe we're just being super pessimistic and maybe they're just really good guys.
Who knows? But yeah, I mean, I cannot imagine guys like Mark Cuban and everything.
Wow, the crowd didn't think that they were good guys, huh?
Big investors not to flip their investments into these kinds of platform. Most of them, I believe, would be interested in by the sound of money, and investing big rounds of big seed rounds investments into companies. Some for the long run and the right reasons, but some may just enter the game, to flip it over 1 or 2 year or resell the parts of the company. And like twice the price or whatever. And so they may be some flippers into the music and blockchain space recently. And that's maybe, the one you would be the one to watch, to be careful of. But I agree with what MightyMai said. Like, no one major musician has done it well yet. And I agree with that sentiment. I mean, we've seen cool stuff though, but like not embedding like a tenth of what the pioneers are bringing on the table. Like they just took one aspect or another and just make it big with the media outlets and everything. But in general, musicians and artists in this metaverse community often have like 5 times what any big celebrity brought into the tables, and just as an average kind of thing to come with on the table. So that's my take on it. So yeah, for sure the like the big artists would have to be, do a little bit more homework and maybe, and I believe interacting within the community, whatever part of it is a part of what these people can bring on the table that they absolutely most of the time don't, or are very touchy about, putting their hands into the craft, into the metaverse.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's good.
Hot take warning. I'm relatively new here from the future, but if I was an OG artist, I would be kind of meh about most of these, even Snoop Dogg and Eminem drops, to be honest. Hot take. I mean, I don't think that's a hot take in this Discord. I don't think it's necessarily. I don't think it. Look, is that? Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. Once again, like, dude, they're just sitting on a trend. Like, no, and like, we can't be mad at this. That's not a bad thing. It's just going to prolong the time that we have to be creative with the technology. That's how I look at it. It's just gonna take. I like the fact that the mainstream world doesn't fully get it yet, because it gives me a breath of fresh air to be like, let me make sure that when we, the people who are here right now building, the people who've been here for, even longer than I have, like Mighty and Connie and people who are really, really building like long-term products, like those are the people that I want to see do stuff that these big stream art, these mainstream artists would never think of. They would just never come to the rationalization to even do. They would never even have the audacity to do it, because they're so about just, oh, I can sell a one of one for 100,000. Of course I'm going to do that. I just signed my first deal was for 50,000 and they own 50% of my catalog. Like, that's the reality of most first deals. They're fucking trash. They're offering you pennies and they're going to own half your shit, and you're not going to be able to do anything for 2 years. Like, that's the type of game. So it's I have no problem with these big artists coming into the space and doing stuff. It's not even like they're not hurting the market. They're just business people. They see a new business opportunity and they capitalize on it. I mean, it's not a bad thing though. But no, yeah, not mad, just mad. I feel you. Even mad is the right way to put it too. Definitely not a hot take though. I think everybody would agree.
What's
And I totally
meh?
feel you.
What's meh? It's like Lost.
It's like más o menos. It's like más o menos.
Mm-hmm.
It's like so. It's like, yeah, it's like right in the middle. It's like It's like I'm not really feeling
But
it.
yeah, like
But I'm not.
like Louis says,
But I'm not hating.
cloud is the only weapon they have really in entering this blockchain space, and so they are playing it all in, but they kind of miss on the point of the interaction because they've been always kind of used to just letting the audience at the other side of the barrier, and never really. I mean, it's got better with the social medias over the 10 past years, but there is still this frontier between the audience and the big celebrities, which maybe will tend to have another kind of configuration in the Web3 world, and so. But they kind of miss the point of interaction, which will be to me the core of the metaverse culture from the upcoming generations that will all interact within Web3 tools and virtual worlds and go chat, meet, date and whatnot within this world and listen to music, get a tokenized thing, whatever they can come with. But I mean, Hollywood is not used to how this workflow of doing things as artists. It's not natural from them. Us with the millennials and the Generation Z, XYZ, are kind of a little bit more incentivized into this process, but not as much as the new kids will be, obviously, with the progress of this world in general. And yeah, so the big celebrities are playing the best tool they have, which is the cloud game, and so they miss the point on some aspects of it. So they collaborate with big platforms. They take the check because that's the opportunity. There's this big craze out there. That maybe that's something I can have a little check on as being a star and selling my name for promoting these new things that I kind of don't know, but I'm still gonna take this check, and so there's a lot of things happening. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, let's not forget too, like, as much as these big celebrities have made a buttload of money doing like off of the world, whatever, they are getting fucked too. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but even the biggest artists in the world are getting fucked. Like, no artist in the Web 2 world who is any amount successful and is signed to a label, who had any deal in their entire existence, got a deal where they were winning bigger than the label was, or they were winning bigger than their manager and their team was. Like,
Yeah.
these artists are still getting slightly mistreated. It's yes, it's on a way different scale than a nobody artist. It's on a way different scale than all this other stuff. But even Eminem, for example, I mean, he literally was the most top grossing hip hop artist, I think, of all time. Like, literally might be one of the top selling hip hop artists of all time, especially in his early career. I know he like broke records, but my point is like, yeah, absolutely, cool, good confirmation there. But the point is like, even him, I guarantee you, the amount of money he generated, I guarantee you, he saw probably 13% of that. Like, that's the world that this game creates.
And
He might have
there's
made a ridiculous amount of money, but he didn't make that money completely himself. It's not like he was out here. So he's probably got some money that he's sitting back doing the math. He's like, what the fuck? I probably could have made 100 billion at this point if I'd have owned my masters, if I'd have owned this deal more, if I'd have had more percentage over here. So it's like, that's like so that's just something to keep in mind. Even though these artists are definitely, coming in and taking advantage of the opportunity, let's not forget that they didn't get their full value either. Of course, us independent artists, we're out here fucking grinding our fucking asses off for zero. So, an NFT sale of fucking $100, let alone 1,000 or 2,000, is fucking could be life changing in some respects. It could be a moment where you're like, damn, I can really fucking make a living off of just doing what I love. That's enough for a lot of independent artists, and that's beautiful. So
yeah.
it's just something to keep in mind though. While we're over here basically saying like, fuck these artists, I totally feel that. But just a little bit of food for thought.
Yeah, I mean,
Just playing devil's
but as well, in general, the in the traditional industry, the highest you get, the more trapped or full you're being played, or without saying you're fucked, but pretty much. And one of the greatest example of that everyone knows about is, for example, Britney Spears, that generated an insane amount of money and couldn't buy a baguette without asking the authorization from a label to buy a piece of clothes or whatever authorization whatever she want to buy. And that's not only on the deal, on the contract, on the financial aspect of it, but the industry also took over her life in general, and in many aspects, some that we cannot really go into here, but it's been public recently that she's been in this fight with this, her father and her label, because they imprisoned her literally. And I know a lot of artists are in this case, or being played as puppets, and financially, if not humanly abused in different ways possible. So that's not something that I envy for any artist I'm working with. So often when they are, they have all the illusions from the entertaining world, we try to, have discussion with them for trying to see the outcomes. And for sure, the technology can help independent artists to avoid these frequent, now too frequent, and over history too much frequent troubles and distortions that the industry has brought. But they will probably continue to exist, but it has to face something new, which will be resistance that didn't had really a playground to manifest itself and really organize. But I think that's what we see here with the awakening of the music economy based on Web3 and the mindset it's coming with, which is defiance, and finally the industry having someone in front of them saying, hey, we can do differently, and we will. And so we won't even ask for your permission. Just take the note, and if you don't, maybe you will regret it, because now there's a force that is in competition with this old school way of doing things that has caused many great things, but also some great amount of drama that we still leave the outcomes today in the world situation we are in right now. So yeah, pretty intense talks.
Yeah, no, and I agree with everything you're saying, including like the fact that a lot of these artists are probably when in ways we can't even imagine, just literally humanely just mistreated. Um, maybe a little less in today's world, like an upcoming artist in today's world. I think there's a little more self awareness going on, but yeah, I mean the early 2000s and anything before then, yeah, I can't imagine like any pop star from the 90s to like anything from Michael Jackson. I mean, dude, even the Beatles, maybe. Who knows?
No,
You
it's
go
from the
back
60s.
far enough.
Literally, for me, historically, it's from the 60s. This game is, from the 60s
Yeah.
to now, and now we are entering a new era. But anything before the 60s was a different game. There was no celebrity as such, not in the like of what, the phenomenon from the 60s. But yeah, it was really, I really see it as the time frame 60s from 2020, kind of. And now we are entering something different, but yeah.
100%. And I mean, just to like kind of like run off of that for a second is like the wave that we're entering is something that the quote powers that be definitely fear. And I think that is the reason, and not just fear based on control, not just money, but they fear it because it's an ability now where these artists who are powerful. Artists have power, dude. Artists have more power than fucking politicians. That's for for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
That's 100% sure, and they know that. That's why these artists are so controlled and they're so manipulated and they're so, used and treated so poorly. So, with that being said, this world that we are creating here, this world that's being spawned where artists are gonna have the power and they're gonna be able to build their communities solely by their own 2 hands and with tokens and all this decentralized ability. That is the worst case scenario for the powers that be. So when you see this, all of the FUD, all of the crazy stories, all of the bullshit that you see in all these articles, all this stuff, it's for that reason. And I know that's a bit conspiratorial perhaps, but it's genuinely what I believe is like they are that much so afraid of this world existing the way it's supposed to, because what it will do is it'll fundamentally destroy their power structure, and it will fundamentally change everything from this point on, because now the artistic expressions can be direct and people can say what they want, which they have been able to, don't get me wrong, but because of the way that the power structure has been set up, these people are easily silenced or they're easily put in a box. And it's still going to be like that for maybe a little while, but in a very, very short amount of time, 5-10 years, it's going to be a much different game where I think that it's going to be a battle on 2 ends, like a real very clear divided line. Like these people have the right intentions, and then these are people who are trying to control them, blah 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 blah. But hey, we'll see how it plays out. But just keep that in mind, when you're seeing all this crazy, oh, like the environment, or oh, like what are they gonna say next? Like what's the next FUD? Like they say crypto's used for illegal activities. Like what? That's the dumbest thing. I mean, like all of these things that they say are just so stupid, because like everything that they could say about crypto, there's just as many equivalent, or the environment, there's just as many equivalent problems that you could point out that they're using every single day. I mean, not to mention the most obvious thing, which is like the majority of our money goes to war. I mean, and it's not even for us at the end of the day. It's for other people's intentions. But look, I don't want to get into that conversation, but we could go real deep on them. But the point
Yeah,
is
we
that
can.
we just gotta,
We are stuff to
we just
be.
gotta
We're stuff to that. But and that's why
yeah.
we are. I mean, that hard down this rabbit hole. But as I was reading a comment from Natalie Crew, shout out to you. I came across your name recently, and I'm looking forward to get into your content. Um, the Snoop Dogg drop was problematic as fuck. Tons of people didn't get their NFTs and horrible custom service. this community has the opportunity to build more sustainable frameworks and new ecosystem where all musicians, creators, and builders can thrive, not just top of the heap. And yeah, I agree. That's the same thing I see for like the King of Leon and YellowHeart and the thing with Maroon 5 and everything. It's like too big to be true, too good to be true, because it sounds too big. Like yeah, and the bigger it sounds, it always works. And here, yeah, I would be afraid to get into a product that doesn't seem legit, like coming from the developer side, which is where everything emanates from. You really have to follow the developers to be at the forefront of the latest innovation, but you're not Maroon 5, you know. So that's where as well Snoop Dogg with Crypto.com sounds like, why not? It's a good marketing campaign, but as probably the developers of Crypto.com just hopped into NFT like later after everyone and just, you know, set up NFTs platform on the rush and having this Snoop Dogg opportunity and okay, let's bring that all together and everything. But the product is not ready. It's not developed based on the consumers' feedback. It's already getting a crowd of people into underdeveloped product that is missing the point again. So that's in yeah, that's my feeling about this. Yeah, Snoop did the Crypto.com drop and the joint drop, and this week he's supposed to rap with Camels tomorrow. Oh, interesting. Let's go. But I mean, there's a different priorities as well. Are you here, Mai?
Oh no, I'm here.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
have a
just,
funny story to share where, you know, I've been keeping an eye on what Soulja Boy is doing because he's been here, I mean, in touching the surface of the space a few months ago. And so I was like, okay, he's going to, you know, get deeper or more maybe involved, or I was maybe expecting something in that direction. And so I always like keep an eye, but I haven't seen that much popping, except recently I've seen this week he's been having a beef with Lil Bow Wow. I don't know if you've seen this, where he was literally yelling at Lil Bow Wow, saying, "Dude, I have like that amount of millions more than you, and so why do you open your mouth about my haircut or whatever?" It was kind of funny. But then I got into Clubhouse, and so I was like, okay, Clubhouse, Soulja Boy, maybe I can hear talking about audio NFTs or stuff or whatnot. And then I had this notification about Soulja Boy being into a room, and so I entered the room, and it was, well, it's a different game, you know. It was like a room with Soulja Boy and like 20, no, 30 very beautiful women talking all at the same together. And so I stayed there like for 5-10 minutes, and I unfortunately didn't hear much about audio NFT. But what's sure is that I had a massive headache at the end of these 10 minutes. But that was very, I was like, okay, maybe next time.
Jeez. Well, first of all, I think Soulja Boy, after he did this one interview where he came back and he just said the most fucking surge shit on it was a Breakfast Club interview, and it just went super viral. And ever since that moment, he's just consistently, in terms of like just gaining attention for himself, just been saying the most insane shit to gain attention. And you know, I fuck with it. I think that he knows what he's doing. He's not actually genuine about a single thing he fucking says. I think he's all about the spotlight, in the sense like, hey, I'm gonna just say whatever I want, and that's what's gonna get me popping. So I mean, some people can do that, and maybe like I actually will not look at him like, oh, I disrespect that, because yeah, 100%. It's totally a PR method, and but it's so obvious that it's a PR method with him, because he says things that are just so ridiculous that you're like, dude, no, you
Yeah.
weren't. You were not the dude who invented the space shuttle. Like, chill out, dude. And like, of course, he didn't say that, but that's the type of shit that he'll be saying, you know? He'll come out and he'll be like, "Oh, I invented this." He's like, "Oh, he did. Oh no, I invented that." And so it's like it's just exciting. I like it. Let him do his thing. I hope he fights. I hope he fights in the next celebrity boxing match. I think he's gonna lose, but I think that'd be amazing to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so I feel it. And I'm sure that he probably knows nothing of deep knowledge on NFTs. So I'm assuming that he probably was just in that space, just like saying trigger words with a bunch of like just babes in there, just saying whatever he wants, just probably getting a bunch of DMs after.
Yeah,
Which, hey, I mean, like,
that's
to
it.
each his own. You know what I'm saying? He probably flew out at least 5 of them in the past week.
Maybe, who knows? But yeah, that was quite funny to me. A funny moment. But I was thinking back, as we are pretty much covered all the tabs we had open, unless you have something more you want to talk about. But I had this beef story that I can share. Uh, not to create
Love
too
it.
much waves amongst the space, but
We need weight. Hit
But-
us with it.
yeah, I mean, it's interesting to talk about it, and there's no beef at all. I mean, yeah, there's a beef. Sorry, I just spoiled that there was no beef. But it was an interesting story around a release I did, which was the drum kit that is coming along the Others Die, my 100% album release experiment on the blockchain. And so, aside of that, I created, to cover the topic of drum kits. I created this drum kit from free copyright. You can use it and release songs using the samples into it. And it was like from what I seen, the first drum kit to be done on the blockchain, and I haven't got feedback that it was not the case yet. So I'm still like believing in it. And but that's the fact is that to kind of to promote it along the album, I made a few giveaways around some mechanics, and so I really enjoyed having a community of people owning this NFT and playing with it. So it's an unlockable. You have the sample folder, and you can create a song with the samples. And right when the first celebrities came into the space and created their first variable accounts and stuff, it was like a white hat kind of move to exploit the spam capabilities of NFTs and wallets to slowly slide into someone's wallet with your NFT, and by doing so, promoting something, whatever it is. But so it can be a very huge issue in the future if we don't have less like spam box where we, everyone can send anything and it can be a problem. But in some case, maybe someone, an angel from the universe, can give you a clue about something doing so and exploiting this particular thing. And in this story, I am the angel, and I targeted these early celebrities that were so discovering the space to the capabilities of what they could do here in terms of business, more specifically business around music. And so Soulja Boy and a couple of different artists that came into the space. There were like Soulja Boy, what's his name, the trap producer. Anyway,
Metro Boomin?
Yeah, Metro Booming. Thank you.
What a guess. I literally just guessed.
No,
He's just
no,
the
no,
only producer.
no. It's not Metro Booming. It's in this crew. He's white.
Scott Storch?
No, it's not Scott Storch. He's young. It's
I know. Murder Beats. Got
yeah,
it.
voilà. Murder Beats. So yeah, Soulja Boy, Murder Beats, and there was Illmind as well that came into the space, and Illmind is specialized into the sample bank market. That's something he did in his life. He's selling drum kits or sample packs of melodies and stuff, or beats, or in the traditional industry. And so probably from when I learned about it, I thought that he would be interested in, learning or saving time. I guess he would have the clue pretty quick, but maybe he would save a little time for him to spam my drum kit to just as a gift, like, look, what's up, and maybe just it can interest you. So I believe Soulja Boy and Murder Beats hasn't done anything with it except holding it. But I've had no feedback that they received it or whatever. But long story short, recently I noticed that the supply of the drum kit went from 500 to 499, and I was like, there's a missing piece. What happened about it? And I learned that I discovered that InMind sent the edition I sent him, so the spam, into the null address, so the trash,
Oh,
basically. And so what was interesting here is that I noticed a couple of interesting details around the story, where when at the time where I sent the NFT, he got into the space through Mintable, and so it feels like at the Mintable moment he had to set up a wallet, and so he had an account on OpenSea, but it was not edited. Like the profile wasn't edited, so it was still like the Ethereum address. You know only through research you could guess that it was the Illmind's wallet, but which I found out. But it was very like the early days of his wallet, and it wasn't set up at all. And there was just a Mintable NFT here standing for what it just got introduced to. So he's got his Mintable NFT and my drum kit, and I guess a few weeks later he kind of get knowledge about how all this works, and that your wallet is also a display, and so that you have to clean that up to make it look good. And so we started to organize his name, his account, put some descriptions. He collected a few NFTs until then, and I think if I would be him, I would be like, okay, how do I clean things that I don't want to be displayed here? And there's this NFT, which I don't know where it comes from, but I don't want it to be displayed here. What can I do? I can delete and send it to the trash. Or that's the point of my beef here, is that what else could have he done with it, except from sending it to the trash? Because obviously the topic was about a market which he is interested in, and so he could, I don't know if it's jealousy or whatever, but a few times later he started his first NFT, which was a sample pack, which he sold like for $6,000 or something like that on Mintable. And so this was claiming to be like the first drum kit or whatever, which was not, which was the one I spammed him with. And so I don't know if he's like a low-key move to like make up the story, or but yeah, with this NFT he could have sent him to someone who it would have been useful to, a producer or whatever, a musician that would use actually this NFT, or he could have sold it, he could have a lot of done very different things, but he decided to send it to the trash. And so I don't know if it's like a rage move or whatever, but the paradox in the end is that it just reduced the supply of this drum kit, and so it just made it more scarce and then more valuable, because there is one edition that will ever been reachable in the world. And so that's kind of funny, because from all the choices he could have done with this NFT, maybe this one is the more rageful, but it still serves the collection in the scarce game
Well,
kind of thing.
yeah, just to share a few thoughts on that. First of all, yeah, it's super fun. I don't know if he did this out of. I don't know if Illmind completely just sent your drum kit that you sent him out of pure respect and gifting and generosity, out of just lack of understanding what it was, which is possible. That is
Yeah.
possible. That was the reasoning. And I like how you put a positive spin on it at the end. You know, that's a very Mighty33 move, and I appreciate that. But at the same time, it is pretty lame of him to just kind of like toss out something that, you know, he could have done 3 clicks and realized it was a drum kit. You know, I don't know if you left a note there for him or something, and I'm assuming there was some sort of context. But yeah, Illmind
I mean, the
basically
NFT.
talked.
Yeah, the NFT is pretty clear about what it is, and the last thing is that the sending move to the trash is recorded on the blockchain, so that everyone knows that he sent drum kit to trash before actually releasing his first drum kit NFT. You know.
Wow. See, like, and you know what? That's and maybe that wasn't his decision. Maybe there was somebody else that was like, hey,
Yeah,
if you
maybe.
if you have this other drum kit in here, your wallet, you might look like you're doing this or doing that. But you know, yeah, it's just not like a brotherly move to fucking just burn your drum set basically. So
It's still good for
but yeah, I
me,
mean,
but yeah.
yeah, right. I was gonna say, you know, you put a positive spin on it, which is respectable. But yeah, don't mind if you're listening to this. Let's try not to burn gifts next time, buddy. Let's try not to do that, huh?
No,
He
there's no
doesn't realize
beef.
it. He
That
doesn't realize who he's messing with, though. You know what I'm saying? Like he's out here, you know, he's made a few hits. You know what I'm saying? He signed a few publishing deals. Blah 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 blah. Like, dude, do you even play an instrument, buddy? Do you even play an instrument, Illmind?
that's another
I hope.
talk. But yeah,
I know.
all cool. There's
I
no
know.
beef. But
I'm
yeah,
kidding. I'm kidding.
I
Hey,
thought
listen, I'm just going at him.
I
I'm going
thought
at him for you.
I thought this talk, yeah, was kind of can be educative in many ways, and but yeah, I don't feel mm, nothing in particular. I'm kind of balanced because yeah, it sounds like a not brotherish move as you call it, but at the same time, everyone do whatever he wants with his chain and his wallet, and that's totally open. It's just in the move for collaboration to build the music economy, that there's things that you can, you know, if you are not able to read the gift thing, then what are you going to read uh, in general? But I don't know. I'm wondering what happened there, and maybe it's someone else taking care of this wallet, and there's a lot of possibility here, but that points to other kind of problems as well when it comes to interacting with this person, or him or anyone, you know, having this kind of acting when it comes to just a genuine move to build in the right direction. And I can understand that the spam dimension, so that it can be, you know, botherful, even though until now I still like the spams I received, so I don't know, but I feel how it can be very bothery in some way. So, and that's why I'm concerned about, you know, the spam box issue very seriously. But yeah, that's the story, which was, I think, interesting to share about. And
Well,
yeah,
hey,
that's the biggest
I'm
beef
glad.
since Biggie and Tupac. I know. I know.
Biggest beef I've seen in all metaverse lifetime, and I know that
Very subtle.
you've held back on that for a minute now, and I appreciate you sharing that. That's good. It's good to get it off the chest. Let the community know. You know, let the community know what's going on here. You know, the beefs are real here in the metaverse, but it's all good though, because Mighty's a loving guy and he doesn't fold under some petty stuff like that. So, good for you
And as well, I
for
have to
keeping it.
say that I'm, you know, totally okay about, anyone talking on my back about things I do, or, you know, critique the way I do things or whatever. I'm totally open about it. And, and so, yeah, there's no beef. It's just for entertaining and education purposes. And yeah, I guess I just think there is a lesson here, somehow, some that is interesting to point to when it comes to, yeah, the early building of this culture.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, and I appreciate that, sharing that for some educational purposes.
Mhm.
Well, you know what's crazy is, like, we had, like, no plan for today, and we're, like, almost at 3 hours. Like, that just shows how the no plan podcast seemed to just vibe out, dude.
And what have we talked? I feel we were very intense, finally getting our minds all together to get to the finest. And yeah, we talked about pretty insane ideas that I can see in the future, and yeah, the cutting edge of the headlines and some analysis of this. But this is our point of view, and we try to, you know, stay as ourselves as we are. And
Space Painter, share it up. Share it up, my dude. I'm
yeah,
gonna do one final shill, also, actually.
go ahead.
So just to close out the show, just, I always do a final shill. I'm gonna just make it my shill. I should get like a what's it called, a soundboard, my shill. But basically, it's all good stuff though. Listen, I'm not here to really shill anything monetarily. I'm trying to build a little community that wants to help me kind of release my music, release some content, and really be a part of stuff. Help me vote on stuff. You ever wanted to vote on songs? You ever wanted to vote on album art? I'm totally indecisive, guys, and I'm finally starting to get to a point where I'm ready to release literally, probably, I mean, a lot of music. And Mighty knows, literally for the past 5-6 months, Mighty has helped me, one, gain the confidence, two, help me master and complete all of my music. And so shout out to Mighty.
But shout out to you
He's a
for the
legend.
great music. Yeah, definitely go keep an eye on this release, because yeah, there's a lot, but I can tell
Yeah,
everything worth, taking the time to get into it.
hell yeah. And it'll be a slow thing. I'm not gonna drop everything at once, but during that process, I'm gonna be giving out a token called the MAi token. I'm gonna call it XP points. And at first everything will be free. I'm gonna have exclusive content. You sign up for the website, everything's free, right? It's not like I will charge you or something. What I mean by free is I want to basically incentivize the community to just help me decide on things, help me decide on what songs to release, what kind of content you want to see more of, what kind of what album art you like better, and everybody will feel more a part of the process. And as we go forward, there will be more and more opportunities to get more and more involved, and eventually get monetarily involved. And I don't want to give too much away because I don't want the wrong people taking advantage of my plans. But 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 just know it's all good stuff, and I really appreciate I just really appreciate anybody that joins. But I am gonna be dropping. Dude, hell yeah, Easy, you're a fucking legend. I appreciate that. But yeah, like there's 2 things to do right now in that Discord, by the way. If you do join, there's 2 things to do, and you will earn MAi for both of them. You can submit me 3 questions in the announcements tab. Ask me anything you want. I'm doing an interview with actually Connie Digital, and Mighty. If you want to be a part of that as well, I would absolutely love it. You and Connie are like my right and left hand man. You guys are literally have been with me from the beginning. You did more than show me around the metaverse. You guys did a lot of great stuff. But join in. There's you can vote on what song you want to see. That voting ends tomorrow though. Like I'm gonna be dropping the song sometime this week. But tonight I'm gonna drop the artwork in the chat later tonight, and you guys will be able to vote on that as well. But you earn MAi for voting. It's pretty basic. And also if you join the website, you will also get exclusive content, content that basically is not released anywhere else other than to my mailing list at the current moment, of course, because after each season of content, I appreciate anybody that's joined, and feel free to dip if you're not feeling it. This isn't for everybody. I'm not trying to say that everybody wants to, help me be involved. I want the right people in there. I want people to feel like they want to do it. It's not for everybody. So I appreciate anybody that does join. But yeah, so just kind of shilling a little bit. But yeah, dude, I'm excited. I actually will be sharing a new mini doc in the next day or two, as well as new music, as well as some voting stuff as well. So, some good stuff, guys. Some good stuff. I just appreciate the squad. I appreciate this podcast. We have a lot of fun here, and I just love sharing the stage with you, Mighty, and it's an honor to be a part of everything. And by the
Yeah.
way, this is the website in case you guys want to join the mailing list, which is what will get you also more MAi and also exclusive content. But all right, I'm done shilling. Shill complete.
Yeah, all good.
Come on. Give me a break, guys. Give me a break.
We should have a space painter, sample that says that the shield is over. And yeah, but that's the same. I feel very honored to still be here with you and on the TokenSmart chat to talk about all these very intense things that we go across. There's last few things I wanted to share. Actually, I wanted to mention I saw this. I attended a panel, a talk panel with different actors from the music industry, but also from the blockchain space, women from the blockchain space. In particular, I think of Nicole Davis, who talked in 2020 at the World Economic Forum about the music and blockchain, and so I was like very interested in her work in general. She's leading a few innovations as well. So she is very accountful when it comes to knowledge about the current stage of the research and very well connected in a great network to develop it. And actually, in the panel, she mentioned she talked about SoundCamp, and I was thinking about you guys like, wow, you did a great job. Because this particular woman that I'm following and that I love the work because it's been very high level in implication in general, has noticed and talked about SoundCamp and the magic of it because she was talking
Wow.
about it in such worlds, saying that it was a great experience, that it showcased what NFTs can do and the potential of the collaborations and everything. And so I was very, thinking about you and I wanted to mention because this was a meeting that was, you had to subscribe to go listen to it. It was open for everyone, but you had to know about it and everything. And just wanted to say that connection happened, and
That's
and
that's
that's great. Yeah,
No, that's amazing. That's cool as fuck. And in like, not to once again mention this, but for anybody who is joining the situation right now, in my world or whatever, the first piece of exclusive content I give you is a full length documentary of the experience I had with Song Camp. So
yeah.
we did Song Camp. It was the first camp and it was extremely successful and nobody knew what to expect. And you get my whole experience behind the scenes. You get to see my process making the song, writing my verse, changing the beat 3 fucking times. I even get to there's a funny moment where I go to Sheets and I finesse the drive-through and I get $5 off my order. It's pretty fucking funny. But
I want to
it's
see
an hour
it.
and a half.
Yeah.
Have you not seen it yet? You
No,
haven't
no,
seen it yet?
no. I gotta hop on to see it. But
Yeah, it's funny as hell. It's funny as it's a long documentary, so it's not always entertaining. There's moments where I'm like staring at the computer screen and you're like, what's he doing? I'm just like sitting there like mixing or like changing something. But
yeah,
it's
I know the
it's a
vibe.
lot of fun.
I know the vibe.
So yes, yeah, 100%. So yeah, that's fucking sweet to hear about. And actually on Monday, which was yesterday, Matthew threw a mini camp at us, and we made a song in 35 minutes. I think I already said this, but it was crazy. It
Yeah.
was hilarious, and I made a mini documentary out of that today. So that's gonna drop sometime this week as well. I'm
Okay.
just editing videos more than I'm editing videos now like a lot, which is super fucking annoying because I literally fucking hate my computer. But hey, we're on the up and ups, guys. We're on our way. We're on our
Yeah,
way.
we are doing it. So yeah, I wanted to thank again everyone in the chat. Natalie Crew, thank you. This was a great show. I feel this too, and I love the energy tonight. And yeah, I think we are like electrified. I can hear that from you, Mai, and I'm in the same stage. Even though I was kind of, we both are kind of exhausted from this past month doing all this. But yeah,
Right.
it really was the energy being spent and yeah, it's always an honor to be able to share that passion with you and get all that great feedback in real time and learning so much from you as well. Like from every way, from every side. That's very crazy to be able to witness this live and learn every day. Oh, that was the last thing I wanted to talk about actually, but maybe we can talk about it later as we get more into it. But it was audio reactive NFT on the Near platform, and it was quite significant. Basically, it's to resume it, and we will see later. It's a code. The NFT is a code, and so while it displays, you can like plug a microphone, and while you talk in real time, the NFT adapts to the sound, and moves with the sound because the NFT is just basically a code. So you can input whatever you want into it, and it will react in real time. The display, adapts from the the input and whatever the code is made for, which was a very interesting thing to witness. But yeah, that was it for this week, and yeah, pretty intense, right?
Super. But hey, what an amazing time as always. Let's get a round of applause from our audience. You guys are the fucking best. Everybody who's chatted with us throughout the night, everybody who's endured our chill experiences, we all appreciate it. And there's so much beautiful stuff to come. Can't wait to just keep experiencing everything with everybody.
Yeah.
Let's hear from the crowd.
Look
Incredible.
at this. Look at this.
Do it. Dum, bum, 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 bum. Hey, I'm gonna show you some some cool NFTs. So this is Generate. You can try it out on testnet on Near protocol at near-apps.github.io/GNR8.
And so the NFT is on the right, displayed on the right, and reacts in real time to the sound of his voice because that's what he coded. But you can code whatever you want if you're a coder and put it into an NFT. And this opens a very interesting perspective for audio reactive NFTs that can be done visually, or you can have an artwork that interacts with the crowd, or have music background or whatever. This is incredible. But that's for we will keep an eye on this and keep that talk for later.
Yeah, I was gonna say every time we get close to the end, you're like,
yeah.
"Hey, well, one more thing."
Yeah, I know, but this one I saw it this week. It was very significant. Look at this moment.
It is dope.
Out
It
in the
is
market,
actually really
so I
dope.
can see and I can even use it.
Whoa!
Yeah, that was my pleasure to end this show. That was my gift. But this is the audio reactive NFT, and to close on a exciting, exciting things.
Hell yeah, dude.
To keep hyped
Well,
for next week.
Yes, keep us hyped up. Lots of good stuff coming. It's gonna be very exciting. I'm excited to chat next week, see how everything turns out this week. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm sharing the link easy right now. And so, yeah, let's wrap this up. Can I play something to close this? Maybe the same track. I feel like playing the same track I played at the intro because I loved it so much. But yeah, that's it, folks. Have a nice week. Thank you for everything. And yeah, let's see in what's my line? Meet you in the metaverse, baby. That's it. I don't remember my own lyrics, but I'm working on new ones for a new album.
Oh yeah, and be excited about that as well. You shared me one track and shit's slapping. Very, very unique. I'm excited as fuck for that as well.
Thanks.
Hopefully I can get a feature on one of these songs on that album as well.
I'm
But we'll
thinking,
see.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah, for sure. We have to figure that
I'm
out.
thinking about it.
No, yeah, I'm wondering.
Well, thank you.
How we do that. But yeah, thank you, everyone. and wishing you a nice week. Stay safe, be good, and everything balanced.
Mm,
And yo, let's tune out.
bye.
Much love, everyone. And again, shout out to Lethal Skills and A-Rob for that joint I'm gonna close with. And see you later. Au revoir. Bye bye.
Bye.
Sayonara. Machu Picchu. Yo, TokenSmart. Have a nice week.
Early morning depressed, room is a mess, down on myself, painting on my last album cover up on my shelf. Stare at myself in the mirror, attempting to hold a tear and thinking maybe I'm just no different than anyone else. Or is it just my location? My heart is in Pennsylvania, the love of my life, my family, all the friends that I hang with. But if I can get away and spend a year in LA, then maybe I can find a way to really be an entertainer. Should I switch up my angle and start working with teams, write lyrics for other artists and settle behind the scenes? My main goals have never revolved around cream, but if it's a mean to an end, should I make it by any means? Maybe I should open a studio to record, start focusing on other artists and stay behind the boards. It'll never make a McLaren of my 17 Accord, but I could engineer for people who actually go on tour. Or should I just dedicate myself to the Lord, focus all my energy on being healthy and pure? Organic diet for sure, I can pray and go to the mosque, maybe then I wouldn't feel so lost. Should I give up on being my own boss and go apply someplace that offers medical and dental and a salary pay, security to start a family and make sure that they're straight, keep clothes on their backs and food on their plates? Or should I move out the states, connect with my heritage in the Middle East, travel to Greece and start a farm with cattle and sheep, go to Italy and get married, my lady can meet her family, FaceTiming loved ones back home every week. I heard it's for the weak, so maybe I shouldn't sleep, stay up and work until my dream becomes a reality, and keep climbing the mountain until I get to the peak and drop an album with Drizzy and Meek. Or is it really this deep? Should I just go with the way the universe flow, be content with the I don't know and continue to love and grow? I say namaste as I contemplate my every move. The only thing I really know is I don't know what to do. I'm confused, how do I know what to choose? I wake up with the blues, by afternoon I'm enthused, refuse to fall for the rules in the palms of Satan. It's true that we're God's creation, inshallah we find a way, but for now, contemplation.